post something. Said another way. Doesn't covert groups spill the milk? And troops risk all to clean it up. Hashtag treason. John Perkins, General Butler. Boom, let's post that real quick. All right. No, I'm not dancing on beat. I'm listening to something else. In the morning, you gotta have good music. I listen to music. Anyway, I want to talk about civilization today. Civilization. If we don't start to act civil, we ever have a civilization. If we vote for the uncivilized groups, is civilization just a fantasy? If all the fruits of everything show that we are just in that uncivil path, that the goal is to knock everything over, to destabilize everything, will civilization ever happen? People think we're in a civilization. I don't think so. All right, is my mic on? Boom, boom. I think we can become civilized. Let me try to get the music right. Boom, put that on 6. Let me share this out. We can become civilized. I think it's really a choice, but we're not civilized. I look around, there's nothing civilized around me. I mean, well, all right, before I get to going, I just think that if you're heading in a civil path, people should be acting more civil. I'm not seeing people more civil here. I mean, directly around me in the court, yeah, it's civil in my community, because that's kind of how it all works, is they keep certain communities nice and civil, so we think we're going in a good civilization direction, but that's never the goal. The goal is you destroy other things to give people in privileged communities and privileged nations and privileged spots a semblance of civilization. You think we're heading in the right way in the world, and we're not. Let me share this out real quick. So I want to talk about that word civilization. I think we probably should watch some news at some point. I've been avoiding it. I've been avoiding it. Goodness gracious. Why did I get my blood pressure up? It's crazy to me. It's election times why I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch at all. Hang on. Getting all these pop-ups. Good morning, everybody. Civilization. Oh, at some point I want to talk to Brother David. I don't know if he's around. I'm going to try to do an interview. That's a brother that works with the software onevoice.org. I think it's onevoice.org. It works with direct democracy. We've had the technology for a long time for you to be an adult and you vote for the things that you want to vote for, but they keep us in a representative form of governing, so we're just easier to maintain civilization. This is the game behind Civilization. Y'all ever play it? It's a good game, actually. I prefer strategy games as a kid, where you have to maintain your populations and give them stuff like food, you got water, houses. If you take care of your civilization and you go destroy someone else. And so this is what I play with the kids the most. I like the first-person shooters, but the strategy was everything. I like the idea of you try to maintain and help your people. You have to make a civil environment for them. Otherwise, you couldn't go destroy another kingdom, right? Hang on, let me see. Share that. Who's here this morning? Rebecca, good morning. Patricia and Augustine. Wonder what the right hand was doing while we were being distracted by the left yesterday. Oh, what happened yesterday, Augustine? I wasn't distracted. I don't think I was. What was I thinking about yesterday? What were people distracted by? Something in the news, somebody stick something in somebody else. Somebody got married. What happened? One of the kings or lords got married. What did I miss? What happened yesterday? What were we distracted by? I wasn't distracted. I was gardening. What did I grow? My moringa came up, and this time it's real moringa. It's not that hashtag fake moringa. It's not, what's that, an ash tree or something? They sell those seeds on eBay. I got the wrong seeds. Good thing I didn't eat the leaves. It's poisonous. But it looks like a moringa, but it has thorns. I was doing that yesterday. And I kind of pay attention. I do. I don't like distractions. I try not to let things distract me much. All right, let me bring up YouTube over here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Ty is up. What the hell is Ty doing up? The hell is Ty doing up? It's too early for you. Why are you up? What you up to? You up to something, ain't you? I'm always up to something. I'm gonna talk about civilization and destabilization. Wait, is this hearts with angry faces, y'all? We're supposed to be angry because, you know, people think we're civilized. I want to see some angry faces. Where are my angry faces? Where's Civil? I'm gonna have you gone to the ghetto lately? Where's Civil? Have you gone to a trailer park? When was the last time your privileged behind went to Yemen? Huh? When's the last time you went? Are you seeing Puerto Rico? Oh, what's that? Mueller. Oh, they were talking about Mueller? Y'all want to talk about Mueller today? I don't know anything about Mueller. I don't know anything about it. I have no idea what's going on with it. Y'all tell me. To me, I know that's all fake in the funk. That's just getting people to look that way. It's get that angry. It's more angry face. They go on. I like the angry face. You should be angry. I've already said Mueller is fake news. Here they come. But Mueller is important. We gotta fight Trump to keep oppression. Here's a question. Let me ask you this. Can you fight oppression, fighting selective oppression, like selectively? Can you fight anything selectively? Are you fighting oppression if it's selective? Or are you fighting for oppression, right? Like, can you fight war? Are you fighting for peace if you're only fighting against some war, right? Selectively? See, I think you're fighting for war. That's what I kind of think. I don't think there's any selective fighting of anything. You're either fighting for it or you're fighting against it at the principle level. If you pick and choose your teams and your colors and your religions and all of that stuff, you're not really fighting against anything important. You're just fighting to be in control. So we can look at Mueller. I thought it was over. To be honest with you, I thought it was over before it began. I knew from the very beginning. I was like, this is just a mess. This is a mess. That man ain't colluding with nothing, but y'all damn sure colluding with some uranium one and collude. You can't collude if you both got Rothschild banks, baby. You can't. You're both owned by the same people. You don't have to worry about collusion. If somebody owns this department and that department, the Department of America and the Department of Russia, the people who own everything, they don't care nothing about some collusion. It's like orders. It's not called collusion. They're told what to do. That's how the world works. Money makes the world go around, not your politicians, but people sure do like to lose their damn mind at election time. Woo, baby, do that. All right, what we got today? Let's get going. Mueller. So Mueller, what do people understand? They're gonna angry faces. I don't know why. I do. Hang on, let's cue the music up. I'll take a look and see what's going on with Mueller. I want to talk about civilization. Are we civil? Is it civilized? Drop bombs on kids. Is it civilized to let children starve in your nation while you send food to Venezuela all around the trailer parks, in the ghettos, in the barrios, to the airport? And because you know the airport usually surrounded by the poor people, and then they take the airplane off and then fly over the poor people again. Take all their tax dollars and send it to Venezuela and let it get burned up, or send it to Israel, let it fly over Israel's swimming pools and land. There they go to angry faces. Yeah, we're fighting for America. No, you're not fighting for America. You're fighting for Rothschilds and Rockefellers, and they're not even pretending to be civil. Not even pretending we have a civilization. We have a destabilization. That's what we have. We play this game and we didn't read the rules. This is the game of civilization. I only played it once or twice though. I like other strategy games where you take care of people. You take care of people and you build a big kingdom, then you go fight somebody else. At some point in time in human civilization, y'all, we gotta become civil. We need at least one. Can we get one civilization? Just one? One nation that's almost civilized? You know, but then again, a civilization, is that like a destination or is it a lifestyle and a process? How do we know when we're civil? Anyone got a definition of civil? What is civilization? What does it mean? And should we be playing that game or be playing destabilization? I was thinking about Smedley Butler and John Perkins today. Confessions of Economic Hitman and Wars of Racket. You send off a dozen groups, including the CIA and all the rest they won't tell nobody about. You don't even know the acronym names. Go spill the milk in another country, start a revolution, just stir everybody up, get them angry, fighting and everything. And then you send the troops over there to clean up, but you clean it up in the way the Rothschilds prefer. But they risk their lives to go clean up mess. So that's destabilization. That's not civilization. What does that even mean? Guy who told us to invade Iraq over weapons he didn't find is now telling the truth about Russia for sure. Right, well, this is the idea that a lying government is only lying when you think it's not in your benefit, and when you think it's in your benefit, they're not really lying. You got liars and you don't. Let me go out here and see if we can find something. What's going on with Mueller? Bhutan is quite civilized. It is, Elizabeth. Thank you for that. And why is Bhutan civilized? I know y'all did your homework. Why is Bhutan civilized? Because they got a government playing civilization. They have a government that doesn't have a GDP. They have a, what is it? Gross domestic happiness, GDH. They actually care about their people. They're a government that's like literally caring for their people. Their measure is how happy are people. Because happy people, they farm and grow food and they share and they play with each other's toys and they let each other borrow milk and things. So yeah, Bhutan is definitely in that civilized route. I won't say they're civilized. I mean, don't they got rock and roll now and jeans and American Western television? That's probably gonna break them. It's probably going, but at least they have a model that gives a damn about people. They don't have a model that's based in GDP. They speak good. America, they don't even speak good in Britain. They not nowhere else. They don't speak good. They still speak profit and greed, GDP, gross domestic. I don't know what the P stand for. It ain't profit, because you're not profit giving ignorant amounts of wealth to massive corporation and a few. That's not profit. That's just waiting for the world to end. That's speeding it up. But I think they do. I think they're heading in that direction. They're starting a conversation, I think, around the world, and nobody's listening. Nobody. They're not listening because they all want to be on top. It's like a pyramid. I was talking to a good brother about this yesterday. I like my centurions. Y'all need to go find people about 100 years old, make friends with them, get them talking, and shut up, let them talk about it. Oh, he was just speaking on it. I was telling him about the Federal Reserve and central banking, and he was like, "Oh, you're gone, whippersnapper. We saw it coming." He said everything was fine. He was a contractor. Everything was fine. We making money in the contracting business, doing good, construction, building houses, home, and all of a sudden the bank would know. He said the government would show up and try to fix something. He's like, we saw it coming. And they always had a small, and he said you would see things working good till the government got there and they tried to fix things. Because this isn't working right. Y'all are civilized and everybody's making money, got houses, food, you're feeding your kids. This is not working. We need to fix something. And he said the government would show up and they put the regulation here and regulation there because they got to fix it so it's working for them. It ain't working when people are happy, because when people are happy, they just do what they want to do. They live their lives. You know, their kids aren't growing up in aggression and taking pain pills just to get up in the damn morning. So he said the government would come in and fix things and that would break everything. And he said he saw it coming with the banks. He said, we saw the small banks. I know anything about central banks, but when the banks show up, and he said, when the bank, I can't do his voice well. He's old cat, rough road. But he would say when the bank started lending to the town over, that's when the problem started. He said when the banks are lending to their own people, they know the people they grew up with, the people that kids play with, the people that they know, in a town they know, and the bank stays small. He said, not such a problem. But when they started lending to the other town, they didn't have to lend in their town. They didn't have to give a damn about their town. And then they could their profit wasn't based locally on their having a community. Their profit was based anywhere. And you take that and multiply that out times state, region, nation, world scale, then you have banks that really don't care. See, the small bank, once it's lending to other small towns around, it didn't give a damn about what happens in its town. Its profit comes from somewhere else. You could let the whole town collapse. You don't have to loan anything to any farmer. You don't care. Because that bank now is based, it's got a spider web of profit, greed coming in from everywhere. It doesn't have to care about what happens in its town. Then you multiply that out on a world scale, and you got central banks that own nations. This is why they don't care about what happens in America. They could care. They're going to collapse America, and everybody's going to go back into the cave, the dark ages, if we're not careful. Because they don't care. Their money come from here. It's like Starbucks. Why is Starbucks in China? Because Americans then aren't buying from Starbucks as much. Okay, well, hell with y'all. And they're moving all the Starbucks over. Same with McDonald's and all the rest of them. Same thing with the banks. They will loot your country and collapse it like they did the small towns and not give a damn. All right. So it was a good conversation. I like talking to old folks because you can start to get the history and like what they saw in the mid 1900s and what was happening. Why today does not work. Why, I say it all the time. I was just sitting back and I was just smiling like, yeah, I try to tell them about world trade. I keep trying to tell them it's not for them, it's for billionaires. They're literally trillionaires. They're destroying the world because they're destroying nations at a time because their greed isn't based on that. All right, I want to talk about civilization, acting civil, what it's about, but in the background, I'm gonna look for Mueller because y'all said Mueller, something going on with Mueller yesterday. Everybody had their panties in a bunch, got the drawers and Speedos all up in the crack and everything. Everybody was upset. And then what is that distracting us from? I kind of rather look and try to see what it's distracting us from. But everything distracts us from central banking. Everything. That's the one thing that nobody ever talks about in mainstream media, the central banking. Venezuela power plant was attacked with an EMP weapon affecting several states, including capital. Who would have the technology and the motive? Augusta, you know exactly who did it. Everybody should know exactly who did it. At the root, not the thug, not thug life Pentagon, but at the root, who's always behind destroying nations that don't have Rothschild banks. We know who's up to that. Same people that's got the Democrats fighting with the Republicans, Republicans fighting with the Democrats. A house divided can't stand. Do y'all know that? Did y'all go to Bible study at all? Did you pay attention at all in class? Divide and conquer. You were totally divided, totally polarized. So both of you are just useless, completely useless. I can't vote for you because the other side is right when you're wrong, and I can't vote for the other side because they're right when you're wrong too. And they divided up just like that. They both have just enough stuff that makes some sense, and the rest of it is trash. Gross domestic product. Oh, it's a gross guy. Meg said it's GDP, y'all. It's gross domestic product. It's not gross domestic profit. Did I really mess that up? I think I did, didn't I? Okay. Well, it's one of the elite terms, right? Meg's one of the elite acronyms. All right. Somebody said something about Bhutan earlier. Not for all the people living in Bhutan. No, Ramil, it's not. That's because it's a path. You want to act more civil today than you did yesterday. You want to go find more people who are starving, who don't have the things they need, and provide those things. Oh, and that reminds me, and this is what we talked about. I was talking about the old cat, old geezer, who we need to shut up and listen to because they're our elders and they've seen a lot more than we have. I gave him the pyramid, talk. I said, everything's kind of like a pyramid. You got this elite at the top, and you got the business class and the sellouts and everybody who wants to be at the top knowing they can't get to the top. But they print the money so you can get more and more people pushing up at the top, bankers and lawyers. And I'm not dancing because there ain't nothing to dance about. Everybody's pushing up to the top, which means that the base, he said the base of the pyramid, then he said must be getting pretty damn heavy then. I said, that's it. The base of the pyramid is literally crushing. And so the foundation isn't the foundation, the base at the ground level. The top of the pyramid gets so heavy because everybody wants to be bankers and lawyers and just useless industries and useless jobs that have nothing to do with the future of anything important. And it pushes the base underground, because that's what happens when you have a house, a pyramid built on a foundation that can't withstand everybody trying to get to the damn top, living outside of their means, is you push that foundation underground. And so the lowest of the low gets lower and lower and lower. Not only that, but the base has to get bigger and bigger. So you need more people. You need more shooters. You need more mass shooting. You need more starvation. You need more hate. You need more gangs. You need more hate groups. You need more people in prison. You need more people dying. Like the bottom gets so damn heavy, and the people climbing to the top don't seem to get it. They just don't seem to get it. Like rats on a ship. Rats on a ship climbing up on a piece of wood and can't figure out why the wood is sinking. Look at angry face. I know, because everybody has slavery right now trying to make that money. All right. Let me see. Gross domestic product. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Ain't that? I am not a piece of that product. Nope. I might have 0.0000 something in there, but I don't think it should exist. It's not for us. Not for people. Not for regular people. It's just for billionaires. It's Deborah saying it's not like a pyramid. It's like slow motion Jenga. Keep pulling. Eventually, the whole thing is gonna tumble. Go on, Deborah. Y'all know what Deborah's talking about. Y'all ever play Jenga? Y'all ever get drunk, play Jenga? You ever play Jenga with some drunks? Hold on, wait. I gotta pull it up. Let me go find a picture of Jenga. It's the game where you pull pieces out. Now, let me show you. That's a great example, Deborah. That might go somewhere. Rashid Bhutan posted something. That's that brother talking about the autism. The doctor talking about the autism vaccination issue. I have to check that out later. Let me bring this in. Jenga is right here. This is what it looks like. It's the game. And so you start here. Like you start with like people with common sense and reasonable and civil, and they got farms, they're growing food, they're taking care of their families, they take care of their neighbors. They got a solid foundation of wisdom. And then you get a Federal Reserve, and they start pulling pieces out. You get Democrats, the Democrats and Republicans, and they start pulling pieces out. See, because the big pharma needs a piece, and the military industrial complex needs a piece, and the prison industrial complex needs a piece, and the chemical industry needs a piece, and you just start pulling pieces out. And eventually it collapses. That's the game she's talking about. And you're probably right, because that's what they're doing. I mean, the dollar lost 98% of its value since 1913. That mother about to collapse. And then it falls, and whoever pulls the last piece out loses. And that's kind of how it works. And everybody will blame who pulled the last piece out instead of everybody who pulled it. And they'll go to everybody who were pulling pieces out at the beginning. Can you put together some Bitcoin or something to construct a new currency for us when the currency collapses? That is how the game is played. You always blame who's caught at the scene of the crime, not who actually did it. No root cause analysis capability, not the system. Like the whole blaming trans fat, not sugar, for cardiovascular disease. Like blaming the Democrats or the Republicans because they touched the president's office last, not both of them doing the same damn thing every damn time. On everything important, there's a little minor differences, but they pretty much do the same damn thing. Good example. I appreciate that, definitely. Break the machine, save our system. Or break the machine and save our system. Yes, Brother Jack, we need to break some toys. There's some things we need to break. And democracy is a violent toy. It's just a toy. I was thinking about it the other day. I mean, I think Rebecca talks about it a lot, but because I like direct democracy, I do. But democracy without foundation of core rights, it's just a tool. It's just a violent tool. See, it's a very creatively genius violent tool, because you can get voters who are living civil lives to do uncivil things. You can get them to pull levers, and the levers require triggers. Right? Because they can gang up against poor people, and if they get more people against the poor people in Venezuela, Congo, or anywhere else in America, you can be apathetic towards them, and they don't get any blood on their hands. So the voters can go back to their privileged civil lives while the government does uncivil things. And the thing they don't really realize is that it always comes back on you. Anything that you cheering your king and lord. You cheer for your kings and lords to have Greek fire when they're done burning up the neighbors. Guess who they coming to burn up? That's why I like talking to old people, because old people, they've seen it. They've seen it just happen time and time and time again. And that's why I think they like Alzheimer's. Maybe why J&J hit the cure. Was it Pfizer hit the cure? Because if old people who've seen a lot, if they get to that righteous, old, wise age, they see how the system works and they start telling people, they don't want that. They rather you put your family in homes and they don't know who you are and they got Alzheimer's and dementia. That's why they're important. I think they're setting up riots for 2020 election, a nation divided. I think so, Brother Jack, because everything is always about taking rights. Get adults acting like children. Get them out there rioting, yelling and fighting, being stupid and violent, and take people's rights. Like, I think that's what Area 51 is. I think Area 51, like I was watching Bob Lazar's documentary. I didn't watch it on whatever, when it first came out on Amazon. I can't do that. I watched it on Netflix. I'm still watching it. But I was thinking, you know what? This can't be a coincidence, because I don't believe in coincidences. This whole Area 51 thing, it probably is just happening because Bob Lazar finally told everybody the final truth. The final truth about what he said and what all these acronym agencies did against him, mostly the FBI. You know, and you don't go raid people who are lying. You don't go and send in the police, and you don't threaten their lives, and you don't do all these things. You don't send them text messages and email who are telling the truth. That's why I think that's what the Area 51 stuff is. I think that Bob Lazar told the truth, got people more interested in what was going on over there and what's not there, what used to go on over there. And so people want to run down there. Why would you do that? Well, the same reason you'll get people into riots and protests and being stupid because they like their oppression, they don't like somebody else's oppression for the election. Because you can take their rights then. So you get everybody running down there, then, and they actually run up to an American military base and they got to shoot some people. What'll happen? They'll take more rights. That's it. One, they'll get rid of some dissenters, but then two, they'll come and say, okay, everybody talking about free energy and alien technology, you need to be on a watch list. We need to take your rights and you're on a terrorist watch list. Why? Because at that point, you're a terrorist. You're talking about aliens, you're a terrorist. You're talking about free energy, you're a terrorist. You're talking about getting off of fossil fuels, you're a terrorist. And that's how it works. And that's why I don't think it's grassroots. I think they did that because Bob Lazar is a very credible man. Very credible man. Where did Bob Lazar get caught lying? Nowhere. Where did Democrats and Republicans get caught lying? Everywhere. Literally everywhere. You can't find anything honest in any statement they make anywhere. You know, so I think it's exactly what you're saying, Jack. It's always about division, getting intelligent adult people acting like children, getting people who don't like oppression doing selective oppression. People who are anti-war only selectively against war, and it makes them pro-war in certain aspects and pro-oppression in the others. That's why kids are separated and they're in trouble. They are in trouble, Megs, but some kids get it. Some kids are like looking at their parents and they're seeing how ridiculous they are and how immature they're acting. That's why kids don't, like, politics is becoming unpopular again. And I think that's a great thing. It's a great thing for people to throw their hands in the air and to say, this is a waste of time. This is ridiculous. We need to do something important. Civilized. Push towards becoming more civil and stop fighting over who gets to destabilize. I just mentioned Mueller because that's the topic in the news, a ridiculous nothing burger. Again, okay. Well, I don't have to look at it, Patricia. I see that they are talking about Mueller, but I don't really care about it because it's stupid. It really is dumb. It really is really stupid. Everything Mueller has to say is unimportant, in every way, shape, form, fashion, insignificant. Because you can hate oppression or you can hate Trump. And they got you hating Trump, so now you got to embrace your oppression. Which is the dumbest thing I ever heard. A fantasy identity that can't even stay. Like, imagine, like the whole idea of hating the president. The president can't stay. It literally is a short-term, temporary fantasy project that they put you on to hate something that's going away. So you don't change anything that's important. You don't change the system. Let me see what else we got. Play the large, full-size version of the wood board of Jenga when you're drunk. Well, Megs, I think they're playing it like they're drunk today. That's what I think. I think the world doesn't make any damn sense in the pieces that this federal government's pulling out, oppressing the people, starving the people, poisoning the people. It doesn't make any damn sense. Like going back to ancient times, they had this thing called salting the earth, right? When you invaded someone, you didn't want them to be able to make an army to stand up to you. So you salted the earth, right? So they couldn't grow food for 7 years. And if they couldn't grow food for 7 years, then they couldn't raise an army and they couldn't fight your oppression. Same way with colonization. When you go through and you destroy people's history, they become dependent on the new system and they embrace it because people like to eat. After a couple 7 years of some starvation, you'd be ready. It make your ears work better. It's like spanking when I was a kid. I had to get some spankings that made my ears work better. It makes your ears work better. So like you look all over the United States, what do you think fertilizer and pesticides are actually doing to the earth? They're literally salting the earth. You can't even go down to Home Depot and buy a bag of, go ahead and buy a bag of fertilizer, flip it over. Buy a bag of soil, flip it over, the expensive soil. And look on the back and it's always gonna say something, something sodium, something, something sodium, something, something sodium. Why? Because you're literally salting your earth. They're literally poisoning us. And so it looks like we have a federal government that's drunk playing Jenga. And they're really not drunk playing Jenga. They don't work for us. Dwelling upon hatred and anger of an enemy will make you into your enemy. Exactly, Ron. You become what you hate. You can't, if you live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword. High wire coming on later today. I'm glad you're watching that, Ivana. You need to post it so your friends watch it. But you need to tag your friends. When the high wire starts, what time is it coming on? You need to tag your friends. If anybody who's not questioning if big, massive pharmaceutical corporations that are chemical companies that are I saw a statistic once. I don't know how true it is. Something about the medicines are actually the #1 killer of humans. Now, whether that's because of prescriptions or people don't know how to take them or whatever it is, I don't know. But that medicine is like one of the #1 killers of Americans. Take those people right there. and don't check them, don't test them, don't have any oversight over them, and get them to make something called vaccines and see how well that goes. I tell you the way my mind works. Some will work, maybe, and some won't. Some will have great scientists that make sure they're tested a little more than others. But either way, everybody needs to watch. They got some angry faces, that's it. I'm angry about that because as a kid, I got some vaccines. And when I didn't understand, I gave my kids some. And now as an adult who sees what's going on and realize that the government actually doesn't have any oversight of these companies, that there's more testing for headache medicine than there is for vaccines, I wouldn't get any. I wouldn't have any kids. I wouldn't do it today. Because the schedule's ridiculous. But if I had one, what would I do? I would look at each and every vaccine independently and do research on each one individually. I wouldn't listen to a damn thing the government said about testing or trust the science. I wouldn't listen to none of that bull. #1, government, they're not scientists, they're lawyers. Their living is lying and taking money. And I wouldn't trust the pharmaceutical industries, although right on the warning labels, they tell you the side effects, which are what all the parents are complaining about, death, all the ridiculous side effects that come from it. So, that's not surprising. But yeah, you need to watch the high wire because they're not going to stay for long because they've already made that statement that people who are questioning vaccines, including the doctors, which is what Dell is, are not going to be allowed on social media. Why does Facebook... I missed one. Let me see. I'm going to try to read as many comments as I can. Cappy and Epstein is the bottom Jenga. Pull that mother out. Well, I know Epstein is big and he's definitely related to everybody, but I think they're going to pull Epstein out in a very specific way. I don't know who Cappy is, but when they pull that Epstein thing out, they're going to put something else back in his place. They're going to pull out little psychopathic pedophile guy, and they're going to put Freaky Deaky Island. They're going to put another one right back in his place to make sure that the whole thing doesn't collapse, because that man is connected all over. Why does Facebook coming up with the digital currency? Exactly, Ivana, because Facebook sees the game. They're not stupid. When you have a system that allows oppression and greed to be a thing, then people will keep doing it. Facebook is just a business. They want to make money like Google, like everybody else. They want to make money. And in fact, not only that, it's kind of like the pharmaceutical industry. When your money is rushing vaccines to market, what are you going to do? You got to beat your competitor. You're going to rush it to market. When your money's made in rushing Viagra and headache medicine or whatever to market, and you got very minimum testing, you're going to rush it as fast as possible. You're not worried about that whole civilization thing. You're going to become obsolete if you can't beat your competitor. So I understand Facebook. Hell yeah, they're going to get a digital currency. It makes sense. So would YouTube. So all the other big corporations, because as long as we allow in the model for endless greed, then to stay on top or to stay competitive, that's what they're going to do. That's why I don't, again, in that example, I don't have an issue with Facebook. My issue is with us. They are operating within the rules. It's us. We as the citizens determine the rules, right? And we get played into accepting rules that shouldn't exist. Like in that whole pyramid example, there has to be a base and a bottom. And y'all know me, I always go back to resources. When everybody has all the resources they need, then I don't really care about. You can have capitalism on top of that if you want to. That's fine. But your corporations can't have anything to do with government. Then they can't even have government's phone number. And then things will right themselves. But when you allow people to get pushed beneath the humane line, right? When worms have everything they need, but human beings can't get the things they need unless they go to school and get a degree and do what big corporations want them to do to make the top of the pyramid even heavier, to push other people further down. When they don't do that, they die. And so to me, it's a sentient thing. It's a conversation of being sentient and giving a damn, and stop being so apathetic voting for oppression. Until we get oppression out the system, we need to pull that out of the core foundation of the system, where when it's not allowable, then politicians might make some sense. I'm not really a politician person, but it might. To me, that's called civilization. Because will you ever have a civilization when the people on the bottom who are born the most unluckiest are beneath the foundation? They're beneath the ground level. They're beneath the bare minimums of what humans need to not have those warrior genes turned on and join that psychopathic spectrum. We make people because we got this ridiculous pyramid structure. Let me see, Greek fire burns underwater. Yeah, it does. And Greek fire, some nasty stuff tied. Ain't nothing like a nuclear bomb. Ain't nothing like some 5G and EMPs, which all of those weapons always were brought home and used against the people. They will again. Democracy is a violent tool, brilliantly spot. Thank you, Elizabeth. Well, it is. I mean, like, if you really, really think about it, it's about people coming together to do gang rape. That's really what it is. People, unless there's a core foundation of rights that are completely infringible, you can't even touch a person's right to grow food and get water or do whatever they need to survive. If it's completely infringible, then democracy might be a good thing. I like direct democracy. I don't like they go to angry face. I don't like bottlenecks, but it's a tool of violence and violation. And all you got to do is shelter the voters from the violence, and they're fine with it. They could care less than 100,000 kids are being starved by the people they're voting for, in the parties that they're voting for. They don't care because they're not feeling it. They can go down to Starbucks and get some scones and scrumpets and a $5 latte and not get no blood on it. And so they're fine. And so I right now, like, this government, the model it is, it's just an apathetic way of getting people to pretend that they're civil by doing uncivil things, supporting uncivil people, but they never got to get their hands dirty. And it's a tool of violation. That's a violation. Democracy without base rights, base human rights, say Constitution if you like that, a Bill of Rights. If you don't have those basic, you can't touch it. You can't touch this. Like basic, it's just gang violence. That's all it is. You know, I see kids doing democracy all the time. The Bloods and the Crips, they practice democracy every day. MS-13, they practice democracy every day. The mob and triads and the drug cartels, they practice democracy every single day. There's no base core rights. There's no limit amount of guns you can traffic and women you can rape. And that's what they do. And I think it's a bad idea. I don't think that's creating a civilization. I think it's creating destabilization. You're destabilizing your own population. Yeah, so I'm not a promoter of democracy. I'm not. I don't even want to get confused. I don't think it's great we brought democracy to Iraq. I don't think that's a good thing. If you don't have core sentient human rights, then you can take that and shove it up wherever you pulled it out, because it's just gang violence. That's all it is. It's just getting more people on my side, and then it makes me right. Ty says that all the time. You know, you get more people on your side, then empirically you're right. You get more people, more of your friends doing that pod people thing on your page, then you're correct, because you got all these trolls drowning out the truth. And having more people on your side doesn't mean you're right. Doesn't mean you're correct. In fact, usually what's popular after newspaper, radio, and television, what's popular was never right. And today, with mass media and owned by 6 corporations, what's popular is always pure Satan poured out of his anus evil. Always is. If you're against the mainstream, you're almost always right. If you're watching CBS, NBC, Fox, and like they're driving your day and what is good and bad, I guarantee you're wrong. I guarantee it's all full of sin. It's all violations and it's all evil. Hiding in a voter's booth while robbing your neighbor. Democracy. That's exactly it, Rebecca. They don't get any blood on their hands, so they don't have to care. False democracy anyway, like all the rest of the facades. Well, facades work, Brenda. That's why. Facades work because people stop critically thinking. Where are my angry faces? I don't see that. People stop critically thinking. They outsource thought to government and politicians and other people that they've never met in their life. They will go hire a babysitter and they'll look at the resume. They won't even look at the resumes. They'll go out, you got the babysitter sites now? You go out to the babysitter site and you start going through, okay, who do I like? I like this one. Reading, I like this one. I like this one. Okay, and they bring the babysitter. Now we need to interview them, baby. And the babysitter comes to the house. You sit there. You're looking how they look, how they talk, how they dress, what kind of car they drove. You're looking out the window. How do they sit? Like you're going through all this scrutiny to pick a babysitter, and you still aren't convinced that they're a good person to watch your youth, to watch your baby. And then you put the cameras in the house, and all it is, you can't even enjoy dinner because you're watching the babysitter on the camera. And you get home, and you still might not like the babysitter. Is my baby happy? Is he smiling? Diaper change? Does he smell clean? Did you put on enough powder? I told you put the ointment because it got the diaper rash, and because I don't pay attention because I'm on social media all the time. But you have all of that scrutiny for your babysitter, watch your baby. But when it comes to your government, oh hell no. Like you never met the person, never read the resume, never read a law that they even wrote, just listened to a few speeches and then you picked and choose who you want. You don't even know this person from paint. The person can't call you. You didn't put no cameras up in his office. You didn't check him for diaper rash. You didn't do anything. Hashtag Joe Biden. You didn't check, you didn't do anything. And this person is designing the future that baby that you're scrutinizing, that other poor person, the babysitter, to watch. There they go. They're gonna hang your face. Like it doesn't make any sense. That's why I like analogies, because when you really think about it, it doesn't make any damn sense. The person who's watching your child for 2 hours, you scrutinize like they came from prison because they don't have $1 billion in a Benz and on TV. But the people that got billions of dollars on Benz and on TV, all of your Bernies and Trumps and Obamas and all of them, the gated community, you can't even get in the neighborhood they live in, let alone close to their house. They don't want you anywhere around them. And you'll let them design the world for that baby that you care so much about. So a babysitter that spends 2 hours with your child, you give more scrutiny to than people that baby has got to spend 80 years with, living in a world that they model, and you don't even know. It's crazy. It is crazy. It just makes no sense to me. Set up for the big fake alien invasion. Yes, Patricia, well, that's what they do. If you can convince people that aliens are evil and they hate us, people will believe it. They will, but they're just like they'll believe the politicians. They won't check it. They won't watch Bob Lazar. They won't listen like that. Oh, yeah, the aliens don't have nothing to do with us. They like doing alien stuff. We down here doing human monkey stuff. They up there doing alien stuff. You know, like I said, they just come here for selfies. That's why I listen to my friends who are like from the 60s, a lot of my hippie friends who are like age of Aquarius type stuff. We're coming into a new evolved sentient time where we can actually start to use this internet and use the interconnected world to realize that how evil voting actually is, when you don't have a core foundation of ethics and morals and things that you can't do to people. You know, that the idea they're going to promise you something that's dripping in blood, that's a good idea. No, it's a violent idea. That's why I don't want their health care. I don't want their wall. I don't want their universal income. I don't want any of that. You show me someone who's going to make some automated drones to feed all the poor people around the world, and you might be talking something. They got to have the money. We got to do proof of funds. We got to do proof of funds because there's a reason why Oprah Winfrey and all her billions isn't doing that, but she'll talk about it all day. There's a reason why all of these people out of Hollywood talk about it, but they ain't doing it. And that's the question people need to ask themselves. Why are people who seem like they really care, they came from bad situations, ain't doing nothing about the bad situations? Nothing significant. They'll do some insignificant stuff because this whole thing is based in this game, this destabilization, keep people in conflict with each other. You know, it's all about just robbing love out of people, robbing love and empathy. Just your garden variety demon, rebranding. That's all they do, Brenda. They keep rebranding and people keep falling for it. For Direct Democracy, Ghost Free, myfreedom2017.com. Thank you, Stephan. That's important. We need to go that direction. 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 And if Brother David is around, I need to interview him, if not later today, next week, because we need to talk about direct democracy. Everyone else is talking about election. We need to talk about freedom. That's what we need to talk about. We need to talk about freeing the human race and giving adults back what they outsource, which is their ability to decide what they want for that baby that they're scrutinizing a babysitter for. Aliens versus chimps. There's no alien versus chimps, Brenda. It's not going to be a fight. There ain't no fight. They don't even care. Now I worry about when my daughter has children. And that's what we should worry about. Megs, you're worried about when your daughter has children and your grandchildren because you're a human being. That's why you're worried about them. And you see what's going on. You haven't outsourced your critical thought. You haven't given it to politicians that all work for the same system. You're actually thinking that, damn it, I don't want to leave this craziness to them. Like, that's one thing that scares me, Megs. I don't want to leave a violent system to my kids. Why the hell would I do that? How the hell is that loving my kids? Continuing to support a system that requires violence. Good morning, people in the house. Let me get, I'm way up in comments. Y'all way down here. Let me see. He was roughed up yesterday in prison. Who was? The Clintons' hands reached through the prison of course. What are the chances he's even alive in a week? Are you talking about Epstein? He was roughed up? Well, you know, they don't have to rough him up. If Epstein was that high in the game, he already knows. He already knows what's going to happen to him. It's like Jeffrey Dahmer. When he went to prison, he already knew. He already knew how that was going to go. And it went that way within was it 48 hours they already killed that man? They don't need to rough Epstein up. When the most powerful people who own, and the Clintons own the damn prisons. I mean, come on. The Clinton Foundation, they can get to anybody, anywhere, at any time and do anything. This is why all the presidents do exactly what they're not supposed to do. They don't change the system until people wake up. In a hierarchical thinking society, one rises to the level of one's incompetence. Ooh, Lawrence J. Peter. Good quote, Brother Ron. Appreciate that. Thank you. Very true. We need to get back to philosophy. We absolutely need to get back to philosophy. Uh-oh, pod people, right when Pod Johnson showed up. What happened? We got pod people. Y'all fighting over something? What happened? Man, that movie freaked me out as a kid. The Body Snatchers. Yeah, and that's a documentary. The Body Snatchers was not supposed to be a document. We're supposed to get to a time where literally people outsourced who they are to leaders. We went the wrong way. We need to go back towards being civilized. I'm going to try to read a bunch of comments. I don't know what's happening in the news. If I ever get down to the bottom of the comments, then I'll take a peek. But until then, I'm more interested in what y'all think is important. Biggest victim on there, biggest victim out there in the garden. Well, the biggest victim, Brenda, is the garden, right? The biggest victim is the Garden of Eden. That's this earth. That's the biggest victim is one that they actually can't kill. All they can do is kill us trying to dominate. You know, any actions you make to control somebody else will always end in violation. It'll always end in conflict and violence. You can't have kingdoms all over the planet vying for resources. You need to make what you have in the area you have work. And you need to leave other people alone. Because if you get a tank, your neighbor gets 2, they get 2, you get 4, you get 8, and it's fear. When you have cowardice as an adult, you will always have conflict eventually. When you are scared to death as a nation, because terrorists, you will actually create a situation that'll bring about the end of all civilization, all kingdoms trying to become civilized. That's just how it works. You literally have to disarm and be strong and step back and say, no, we're strong. We don't need to spend this much money on defense. We got starving people in our country. We're going to take care of them. We don't need to spend this amount of money. But the thing that really gets me is for the first time in human civilization, there's a kingdom big enough to resolve all the world's major problems. Starvation, violence, poverty, famines. America could do that at any time they got their stuff together. As who's that little comedian? Kevin Hart. He said, get your stuff together, man. And he didn't say stuff. Get your stuff together. If America gets their stuff together and the left stops hating the right and the right stops hating the left, it can make a beautiful world, but it's not going to happen that way. Not historically. Historically, the left is going to keep fighting the right's going to keep fighting the left. And what's going to happen? All of the wealth is going to just move to another Russia or China, wherever it's going to go. And the elites and the bankers are going to run the world from there. And they're going to keep their people fighting to keep building the kingdom. And America's not going to have a chance. It'll be too late. All the wealth is gone. We'll just be living in a state of poverty. We can fix the world, but we better hurry up. And I'm not seeing it happening. I'm just seeing more people off to go fight with some other people. I can get you in touch with the person that has been working on direct democracy for 11 years. You will be amazed. Yeah, Stefan, I was talking to Brother Nick, Brother David, a couple of them. I mean, he worked on direct democracy. He does in the United States and a couple states, and he did in Canada. But yeah, anyone you put me in touch with, I'll interview. Absolutely. Like giving people back their rights, giving them the right to dictate what happens in their land more than what government and corporations does. That's the most important thing. Human freedom is the most important thing on the books. I am a believer in Team Jesus and his army for angels. Let's be. I'm definitely a believer in Jesus, Brenda, but not in the modern sense of what the Christians morphed it into. I'm not into pro-war Jesus. I'm not into Republican Jesus with the gun belt, and I'm not into Democrat Jesus with colonization and starvation and prison industrial complex. That's not the Jesus I grew up on. That's the one they tried to get me to support, but I'm not into that particular Jesus. I don't think he exists. I want to come up with a list of things to do that benefit humanity instead of voting, empowering powerless instead of the powerful. Courtney, my list is 1. Leave everybody the hell alone. That's my list. Done. Start of list, let people be, end of list. That's it. That's my whole list. You know, as long as people are peaceful, not your business what they do. That's the whole list. And I think that should probably be the list. If that's the whole list, then everybody's fine. Everybody has a chance to survive and do what they need to do. And we stop manufacturing psychopaths, and I think the world will end up going the way it's supposed to go. Anyone see Dark City, a documentary as well? I believe 12 Monkeys in a way too. I saw 12 Monkeys. I did not see Dark. I think I saw Dark City. That was a little while ago. Yeah, it's a circus. It is one big circus. It's a big house of cards. Jane, isn't that funny, Jane? You got House of Cards. You actually had a TV show. This is the funny part. This is why you can't make this stuff up. You literally got a TV show called House of Cards that explained the Clinton family. That literally was a documentary. And it showed you how politics work. It showed you the lies and the corruption and the evil and the scheming and the scamming and the murder. It literally showed you American democracy. They should show that in every single classroom in America. And this is how it works. Be ready for Russia to meddle in 2020 because Mueller said so. Well, that's why they keep people on Iran. They got nothing else, so they keep Russia. They don't have a program. They have a program. They don't have a program that would be fundable by all the people in Washington that are already bought by corporations. That's what I mean when I say they don't have a program. In case we got some, it looks like we do got a few voter folk here. You don't have a program that's fundable, because that's what corporations did. They bought enough of the Democrat Party and enough of the Republican Party. They count the votes to make sure that your programs that are unprofitable to their business will never happen. It doesn't matter who you put in. The game is rigged. The game is locked. What did George Carlin say? It's a big club, and if your guy wanted to do some changes or your girl wanted to do some changes, ain't in it, they ain't happening. That's why we need a systemic change. We need a paradigm shift. We got to stop playing civilization by the violent rules the game makers give us. How about Gordon? I don't know anything about him, Daniel. He looks like Comfort brother. All I know is he's a strong man, and that's what people pick when they're scared. Right? And that's why they pick Trump. He's a strong man. That's why they picked the guy in Brazil. He's a strong man. Why? Because people are pissed and they're angry, and they'd rather collapse things. Now, mind you, you got people who on that side kind of like the other side, and they think people in the office are doing what they're supposed to do. But they're just strong men. That's what people pick strong heroes when they're scared the most. And whoever talks the toughest, that's what they run to. And that's why that game show, You're Fired. How'd that game, what's the name of that game show he did? You're Fired, the Apprentice. That's why people he seemed like he was a tough guy. And so people will go for that. Let me see. Anyone else lose the feed? Oh, no, I didn't lose the feed. I'm still here. Let me see. We'll get down to comments and see what. Be civil, say shun lies. Yep, and can people be civil, Ron, when they're being lied to by their government? No, because government doesn't lie to you to make you civil. The government doesn't lie to you to make you civil. They lie to you because they got some power or profit they can get. And you vote for it, you'll just get more. Watch Dark City. All right, I have to. Let me see. Big quotes, I can't read the big ones, y'all. It's way too much. My eyes hurt bad enough from doing this stuff every day. I can't read, like when you had a big comment, I'll read it later, but I can't read it live because it's just too much. Nicole, the browser is open to going live with you. Okay, Stefan, put us in contact. I like doing interviews. That's fun. I don't like sitting here talking to myself. Seeing myself on the screen. I'm sick of seeing myself. I'm looking at the side screen, I'm looking at your comments. No playing civilization, you all play freedom. Sharista, where are you going with that? Playing civilization or playing freedom? You might be filling in a gap here. So are you trying to say that if we're playing civilization, we're playing kingdoms, and we're trying to civilize over here, it still is a kingdom, right? It still is a civilization, and over there is another one. And we got an army, and they got an army, and as long as you got an army, eventually you're going to be in conflict. And that to get the army to be bigger, you have to lie to the people, you have to bring in more corporations, you got to have a military-industrial complex, and eventually that's going to land you in conflict. So by playing civilization, eventually it's going to equal labor slaveization, because the more people you have in going into corporate America sitting in cubes, the less happy they are, the more they have to work 5, 6, 7 days a week, the bigger you can get your GDP, the more weapons you can buy. So is that what you're saying? And that kind of makes sense. So like playing civilization, it always ends in war, and we should just play freedom. So if we're all a part of a civilization, if there is a civilization, there's no really reason for the word to exist, that we're all just one people, we're all one, we're just human beings, that there's no reason for war. There's no reason for weapons. There's no reason for force. Okay, I'm with that. And that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Like I said, y'all, I'm just talking, I'm thinking through it. And that kind of, we shouldn't be playing civilization. We should be playing freedom. Our main goal should be freeing our neighbors. Our main goal should be freeing each other. Our main goal should be freeing our children. I totally agree. I completely agree. Stefan invited her. Okay, good. She just sent me a friend request. We'll have to schedule for later. I can't actually invite on here because this isn't Facebook. This is meeting software. But we have to spend time talking about things like direct democracy. We have to spend time because that actually is freedom in the right package, right? in the right package, when you have human rights locked in, then people should be allowed to go vote for everything above and beyond that. And so a couple examples, cannabis. Is it civilized to take cannabis from people? No, because it's not your business. If people want to self-medicate, it has nothing to do with you. You can't make a pharmaceutical industry that says no. You can't make a lumber industry. You can't make a paper. You can't make these industries that stop people from doing the thing that the corporation doesn't want them to do. You can't do that. So the whole point is having people, instead of outsourcing, you insource. You make your own decision and you decide for things above and beyond. They go like, no, I don't like that. They got the angry face like, no, I don't want you to grow cannabis. You don't have a right to grow cannabis and medicate yourself. You know, it's like that respect of sovereignty. If we have respect of sovereignty, then direct democracy is the right way to go, or call it RIC in French. And so we'll definitely do an interview and talk further about it, because you're going to freedom, freeing people. Free people aren't violent. Free people are civil. Why do people become uncivilized? Not because they're crazy, not because they're stupid, not because they're angry, not because you're better than they are, but because they are beneath the ground level of the freaking pyramid. They're underground, and so they become uncivil. Okay? That's why. Okay? When we stop acting like mobsters and mafia and voting for cabals, then we'll actually get somewhere. But you gotta be an adult. You gotta pull your big drawers up, pull your big panties up, and make your own decisions. Stop going to government to solve your problems. This is another one I don't get, and I might go into a little bit of a rant, but I'm trying to read comments. It bothers me. Like, you're an adult. Solve your own problems, right? If you keep the long-term effects of adults not solving their problems with their neighbor, their friends, whatever's going on in their life, not being self-empowered. The problem with going to government, which is force, they use force. Like, that's what law is. You're using force and violations against someone else. The problem with using force to solve all your problems, it ends in, if not oppression, war, or the end. You can't use force to solve your problems. Just because you're pulling a lever, that doesn't mean it's not force. Everything they do is force, because you pull the lever and they got people with guns that will go and force that. Stop using violence to solve your problems. Be an adult, pull up your big drawers, and go out and solve your own damn problems. The long-term effects of habitually using violent people to solve problems that don't have to be solved violently is a collapse. All right. Let me see. All right. The greatest darkness precedes the great enlightenment. Yes, it's always darkest right before the dawn, Ron, and that's where hope is. I think it's so ridiculous, and it's gone so far that people are really starting to stitch it together, and they're really starting to realize. I think that people are starting to realize that this can't continue. That it has to stop. That we're not civilized. That we were tricked and fooled into supporting violent people doing violent things. And this is going to end up into an extremely violent world for the next generation if the world is still here. Wouldn't it be great if society felt that all those who feel they have a need to be a leader or a ruler are in need to have to go to a big vacation with some weed, shrooms, and peyote, something like that, to change their minds? Deborah, this is why I don't like leaders. I don't like people who like to lead. I don't like them. I love them. It's just, I kind of put them in a category. Like, I think it's almost, you are, disrespect maybe not be the right word, but for the lack of a better word, it's offensive that you think you can lead me. It's offensive. It literally is. It's offensive that you think you know what I want. It's offensive that you think you're correct and what's going to build a better world for my kids. It's offensive. The very idea of a leader is offensive. And I think that came from, was it Paul Stamens or Joe Rogan first, that You need to take all the leaders and send them off and let them do shrooms or something and try to get some enlightenment in them. I kind of agree. Because some people, I think, come to consciousness when you see what's happening around the world. Some people come to consciousness when you drive through Alabama and you see people living like slaves. You see the immense poverty that some people live in our country and around the world. Some people come to consciousness just that way, but other people need help. And I think leaders need help. If you don't have the ability to like leave other people alone and stop trying to rob them and force them and tell them what to do, then yeah, you need to have, well, I sound like the pharmaceutical industry now. You need to have some drugs pumped in you. You need to have, well, you know what they need to do. I won't say that you need to have peyote and ayahuasca, but you need to be contained. If you think that you should tell other people what to do, you need to be contained. You shouldn't be voted for. You should not have a bumper sticker. You should not have magnets in your name. You shouldn't have people following you, but you need to be put somewhere. The best, I hate this word leader, but the best leaders are the ones who follow. They don't actually lead anywhere. They just follow people. They listen to people and they do what people want them to do. That's not leading, that's following. We need great followers. We don't need any more leaders. We don't need any more heroes. I'm self-medicating. I'm self-medicating cannabis now. Triangle. You need to medicate, Christ. You need to medicate because Christ went to the upper room. Y'all know how that works. He went to the upper room to heat the herbs. Why? Because Christ couldn't deal with y'all too. Christ was just like this Christ, which is just like most women in America. They got to take drugs to get up in the damn morning. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep it because chivalry isn't dead. Chivalry was never born. When 60% of your citizens take drugs to deal with the society you socially engineered, you failed miserably. I wonder what the next big distracting event will be. Ivana, I don't know. But if we look at news articles, I know that it'll give us a hint. Let's look at America. Can we look at American news? Let's do that. I want to look at American. I want to look at American news. I want to know, what is it that they want me to think about? Let me see if I can show this to you. I think it's this button right here. Boom. This is my news feed. Now I don't even know where it comes from. But it comes from probably AI or something. They log in my laptop and there's no secrecy. And they try to determine what they want me to focus on. So teen wrongfully detained at detention center, plan something. Whoa, let's go back. It's one of these things. Whatever they want you distracted on, it'll be this. Nope, I don't want to click on it. I don't want to actually do that. I want to go, there we go, it's this one. Teen wrongfully detained at detention center plans to sue government. Number one, they print the money, so it doesn't really matter. They detain people all the time. Don't get upset about immigrants being detained. It's how violence and force and slavery works. We have a prison industrial complex that has millions of children institutionalized. Focus on that. Dogs try to save other dog from swimming by himself. Imagine that, a dog trying to save another dog from swimming by himself. Y'all see that? Why can't we do that? How come we can't save Yemen? How come we can't save the trailer parks and the burials and the ghettos in Puerto Rico and Latin America and Venezuela and leave everybody? How come we aren't as smart as dogs? Because God didn't use a dog, God used a monkey. We're 98% monkey and we got the chimp side. Archaeologists uncover sunken temple remains. That could be good. I don't know that'd be distracting. Soccer star makes boys day on vacation. That's positive news. What do you think? We're China trying to show positive things? But this is how you show people that we're civil. Refinance rates at 3.02%. Do you qualify? Well, I don't ask that question. I want to know the question. Does it make any damn sense to take a human that's born on land and force it to buy a house? Force it to get a mortgage and buy a house. In worms, they get the houses free. The cockroaches, they got free houses. The rats, the mice, they get free housing. As soon as they're born, they have a right to be on the planet, like the birds, the bees, and every damn thing else. Get a house immediately from being born. Human beings, we literally took it away. We make them being born into debt. So I don't care about your refinancing. The houses shouldn't look like that. I think, left up to me, everybody needs to be in tiny houses and greenhouses. That's left up to me. That's my goal. That's where I'm gonna live. Navy SEAL team ordered home from ISIS fight. Well, first of all, Navy SEALs weren't fighting ISIS. You were fighting your own government. You were fighting the CIA and the after effects of those other 12 acronym agencies. Again, they go around the world, they spill the milk, and they use American soldiers to go and try to clean it up and make it reform those people the way that the Rothschilds want them to. Literally, we fight ourselves. Self-destruction. Smedley Butler, General Smedley Butler, and John Perkins, they told us that. Mueller, oh, here you go, Patricia, here you go. Mueller spoke, but the debate continues. What are they debating about? Nothing. Nothing. All they're debating about is who we're going to oppress. We don't know. This people will be inside, and this people. That's what you have to always vote for oppression. Every vote is a vote for oppression. They're not talking about nothing. So that probably is a distraction event. Wells Fargo, $400 welcome bonus. Oh, you get a $400 welcome bonus for joining Wells Fargo, and they probably got $400 billion in the bank, and they print the money. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. It's like slavery. It's like the Great Day of Jubilee. NASA said that we don't have to work for 20 minutes in the morning. Everybody get excited. That's nothing to me. Banks shouldn't exist. It's a report, Ole Miss student died of multiple gunshot wounds. Right, when you raise people in a society that you're destabilizing, not civilizing, you make mentally ill people and they shoot people. And then when you got a government that shoots people, steals what they have so you can have health care, then you're gonna have people who shoot other people and steal what they have, because it's just how it works. You can't vote for violent, decivilized, destabilizing government and get nice people. It doesn't work that way. Besides the fact you're taking away their right. Jeffrey Epstein found injured. Oh, this is what you're talking about. In a New York jail cell. Okay, yeah, that's how it worked. That's how it, or it was either that or somebody didn't get the message. That could have been. Because when you go to prison and you're known for abusing people, the inmates like to beat you up because they got kids on the outside. It could be that one inmate believes the news and didn't know who Epstein is. Didn't know that he has more Democrats and Republicans in his pocket, been the freaky guys and did things they weren't supposed to. And they got videos, and the CIA, NSA, they got videos and recordings of all of it. That one inmate probably didn't know and probably beat him up. Don't worry, that inmate is dead if that was what happened. He's already dead. They didn't cut him up. He's with Jamal Khashoggi in a damn drain somewhere, all right? That's not how the world works. They run everything. Or it's all fake news, and Epstein is at his mansion chilling, hanging out with Clinton, Obama. Oh, who's at the door? Ding dong, it's Trump. Oh, okay, come on in, Or it could be that. You don't know what's true. You have no idea what's true. The Rock joins native protesters in Hawaii. So we're safe. The Rock is here, everybody. We're safe. We don't have to worry anymore. I don't even know what they're protesting in Hawaii, but the Rock is there. We're safe. You've seen him on TV. Yep. He gets it done. He climbs in towers and fights the bad guys. He flies and fights the aliens. And who else did he beat? He went back in time and beat the dinosaurs or something in Jenga. So we're all safe, y'all. Rock. Because this is how America works. Americans love their heroes, and that's all that matters. Notice they didn't call him Dwayne Johnson; they called him The Rock, right? Because of that, Americans need to hear that. Who played Wonder Woman? That fine woman. Who was that? They call her Wonder Woman, and she shows up somewhere. Wonder Woman's here, and the Americans like, yes, she's here to save the day. People are having a hard time finding the bobcat in this photo. I see it. I see the bobcat. Y'all see the bobcat? I see the bobcat. Why are people having a hard time seeing the bobcat in this photo? I have no idea. Oh, because they don't go outside. That's why I go outside all the time. Y'all see the bobcat? Y'all please tell me you see the bobcat. I'm not even going to show you. The bobcat is right there. The good thing is it's not looking at you. Yeah, I see the bobcat. I know what a dark shadow in the woods. Look, I don't spend my days indoors. I go outside. That's why I want a tiny house. I stay in a time. I think every house should be eviscerated. I do. I'm sorry. I love you to death. But you got a big, unsustainable house that uses electricity, heat pump made by somebody that doesn't give a damn about the planet. The politicians let them sell these damn things, and these houses are completely unsustainable. They're destroying the planet. They got lawns that are destroying the ecosystem, so the bees can't even pollinate. They're all dying. The monarch butterflies aren't coming back because you got grass in your lawn. And plus, it's got pesticide and fertilizer all in it anyway. No, I don't think you should have that house. I think every house in America should be bulldozed, and you should all have sustainable houses, including the politicians. And they're the house they need to go first. That's the one. The man they need to go first. I think all of them. Nah, and it's not because I don't think you should have freedom and sovereignty, nothing like that. I just think we all have an ecosystem, and when the ecosystem dies, we die. So no, I think it should all be bulldozed. Everybody can have a standard house. Everybody starts right from the beginning. And if you want a bigger house, you can have that. You know, but we need the robots to 3D print and add on new rooms, and you can have a mansion on your own land if you want. But it's after the robots are printing it from concrete, from hemp, or from cob, something that's sustainable that allows you to actually retain a high R value, so you don't have to use electricity to heat your house. Like, it's the dumbest thing. We can sit here and yell and scream all we want at rich people flying these Lear jets and whatever while we're living in McMansions and we're destroying the world with them. All right, hypocrisy. So yeah, I see the Bobcat. Y'all need to get out your houses. Bachelor in Paradise star slams homophobic trolls. All right, so first of all, most of the trolls are learning software, not a thing. You can ignore that. Nobody cares. You do whatever you want, with whatever you want, with whoever you want, as long as it's consenting, and nobody with any common damn sense gives a damn. The hills, but they try to use these trolls like they'll use the racist trolls, right? They're trying to convince you that there are more crazy people out there than what there really are. And they got caught doing that nonsense, right? They're trying to create a fantasy where all of these people hate you, and people literally don't really even know you exist. They literally got enough problems, but they're trying to ramp up problems, divide and conquer. Dunaway fired from Broadbound show. I don't know who Dunaway is, and I don't know Broadway Brown show. I don't do Broadway shows. Oh, I still hear that could be in trouble. Pratt quits The Hills after slamming co-stars. I don't know who Pratt is. I've never watched The Hills, and based on what I'm saying, I don't think I'd probably watch that show anyway. Looks like Beverly Hills 90210 or something. Receive the most federal funds. The federal government shouldn't actually exist. It actually is not a part of America anymore. It's owned by big corporations and banks. You need to do what Martin Luther King was trying to do, create a constitutional convention, wipe it out, reboot back to a constitution, Bill of Rights, maybe stitch in some things about automation and food and housing. The robots do it, nobody pays for it. Lock it into, if you're gonna have currency, let it be a gold-based standard currency, not the fiat currency where the Rothschilds print to own the world. And so I really don't care which federal government, state fund, I don't care nothing about that. It shouldn't exist. It literally is treason. It's treason for a state to take money from an international organization that's murdering people in the United States, Americans abroad, and other people. So, none of that. So that's not going to distract me. What else? What else is going to distract me? Y'all can't see the whole thing? Let me move it over so you can see all the distracting news. I just moved it over. What happened? Oh, it's not going to let me show. That's weird. There we go. What's that? Well, former celebs who have normal jobs. I guess that's important. People like the heroes, they like the celebrities. Oh, here we go. Trump's government is wreaking havoc on the market. No, it's not. Literally, the American government is wreaking havoc on the world. Once again, all the problems started before Trump. The most 1,000, I took from 500 to it, the 1,000 real issues and real problems in this world, none are related to Trump, the Trump administration, the Obama administration, the Clinton administration, or the Bernie administration. All the big problems are completely agnostic of the American president. How did Trump end up in the front of doctored presidential seal? What? You say Trump on a seal? I don't see it. Okay, I don't know. But either way, you got people who worship him and people who hate him. U.S. swimmer disqualified at World Championships. Yeah, I don't like team sports. I don't believe in team. I think we should be done with this. I was talking to an old cat about team sports yesterday. I just talk to old people. Talk to old people. We were talking about team sports. He had a great perspective. He said that team sports. He said the problem with team sports. No. This is what he said. I'm gonna mess it up. I have to really think about it. So we were talking, and he said, well, yeah, he said he played soccer or something, right? And he said, well, my dad only came to one game. And this guy, he was probably like 85, something like that, in that realm. He said, my dad only came to one soccer game. He didn't come to the practice. He didn't come with me to buy the equipment. He didn't come to meet the coach. He barely made a game, only came to one game. And I was thinking about that. I was like, you know what? I played football. And Pop only came to one game too. And I was thinking about, why did Pop come to guys? Just wrong. He wasn't a good father, man. That was the greatest father on the planet. I don't care what none of y'all say. He was a great guy. But he had things to do. Come to think of it, it's like, yeah, well, my father, he's working, fixing the house, and satellite engineer, mathematician, got a wife and 3 boys. Yeah, he got 1 daughter. He got things to do. He ain't got time to come into my silly game. Like, I was thinking about it. I was like, whoa, because this is how stuff happens with me. Like, I'll talk to people and I'm like, whoa, you're right. Parents shouldn't be going to games. What the hell is wrong with people? Like, you're literally taking a fantasy stupid thing, like, you're making it worse. Because when I was thinking about it, I went to all my kids' games. I went to almost all of them. I didn't get it back then. I went to all of them. But let me tell you my observation. So I was there, and I'm watching adults act like children, like yelling and screaming like they're at the adult games, the adult team sports. But then kids who don't take conflict that seriously start to take conflict seriously. Like, think about it, because I remember we used to go play football, not organized, when we just go play or basketball or whatever. We go meet and it's like, oh, what's your name? Tyrone. What's your name? Bobby. Okay, let's play. All right, everybody get together, a couple new people and the other people that you know. You get on this side, y'all pick teams, get on that side, and then you play. After the game, guess what? We're all friends still. Okay, I made you nice to play with you, whatever. You're checking this guy, he's checking that guy, and y'all don't know how really gay basketball really is. But I'm just gonna tell you this. I'm gonna let you know this is how it works. Yeah, basketball is a gay sport. I don't care what nobody say. It is, right? Because you're checking the guy, you're on his butt, and he I played basketball as a kid. Trust me, I know these things, and I'm not gay. I know these things, all right? And his butt is hitting you in places and sweat's flying everywhere. You're checking them. It's an intimate thing. You get to know. Football is too, because you tackle the guy, roll around, whatever, but you're checking the one guy and you focus on him, he's focused on you. This is how it works, yo. I'm trying to tell you, you're not listening to me, and you wear tights. But here's the point I'm making. You become friends. Because you share that much intimate space, you're sharing spit back and forth, you're touching everybody's stuff and everything is happening. And so you become your friends. After the game is over, all right, somebody hit you in your butt, somebody else in their butt, and that's the end of it. You're not like locked into, I'm a Democrat, you're a Republican, I'm red, you're blue, I hate you. It's like not a long-term thing. Because it's not that serious. No parents are there, and so nobody cares. And you come back next Saturday, y'all play again, and the teams are switched. Oh, I want him on my team because this, that, and that team. So you don't have a team sport lock-in tribal thing. But now take that, what we used to do, and add that to what the team sports of today, right? Do kids, when they're playing with their friends, were you doing it to have fun, or are you doing it to win, right? So it's different. It's different when you're playing on the street, in the park, whatever, with your friends having fun. You even laugh, right? Great plays happen. And a great play happens against your team. You're actually clapping because you couldn't believe that just happened. But when you get the parents there, it's a whole different game, right? Because what is the goal of most children? Is to get the approval of their parents. And if your parents are there, and this is what I saw when I went to most of my kids' games, the parents, they don't know how to act. They're like Americans everywhere else. And I know I spent a lot of time on this one, but it just made me think of what this brother said. And anything old people say, you need to listen to twice because it's important. They take it too serious. They yell and they scream. They get upset. Fights break out. They throw things. They really get aggressive, and the kids are looking up to these people acting like damn fools over a child's game. See, the kids aren't having fun at that point. At that point, they realize that being tribal isn't a game. It's not about having fun, it's about winning. You give them a jersey, you give them that color. Year to year to year to year, they're that team. Now, mind you, I agree that the coaches have something to do with it, and they can kind of soften it. And, you know, it's like we would even go play, and if we showed up, if we didn't have enough players, we're playing basketball, we only got 3 because Boo Boo and King Tank get sick or something. I don't know. They drank the fluoride, got some vaccines. People from the other team would play on our team, right? They would say, okay, we got 3 extra players. Y'all pick 2. We want the tall guy and the guy with the boogers in his nose. Come on, like you're strong, right? And we would play Because it wasn't about winning. Like, and so I think, so anyway, the whole team sport thing, that's something he said that was deep, and I really never thought about it. Is when parents don't go to team sports, kids are more having fun than anything else. But when the parents are there and there's a crowd and an audience and they're cheering and yelling, then kids get aggressive. Then they got angry faces. I know they do. Those are the PE coaches, and somebody got a game today. They're about to go take the kids to the game today, and they want to go today, and then they film it. They're going to live stream. It's going to be on Facebook, right? So now it's not just the audience of the parents that are yelling and screaming, acting like children, but now you got everybody else on the internet, and all their friends at school are going to see because mama going to stream it out, daddy going to. Just think about it. Just process and think about it. I know y'all love team sport and don't like it when I talk about it. I'm just saying, we took something that was fun, and now we're lining them up to be Democrats and Republicans. We're lining them up to hate Russia and hate Mueller and China and whatever, right? Because they're right. Their team has to win no matter what. All right, so I really don't. And plus, it's the Coliseum anyway. You know, you don't want to divide people up and dumb stuff like that. Women on layover in Miami airport disappear, cops say. Right, women shouldn't disappear. Again, like I said, if you have a world where women disappear, you failed. Okay, the number one job of man is to look out for women. That's it. There's a couple other jobs, but the main job is women and children. That's it. That's the only reason we even got strength and we exist. The only reason we got a brain is to look out for them. And if you get a CIA and an NSA and whoever else that knows what happened to Jamal Khashoggi on another continent, in another damn country, in an embassy that's supposed to be locked down, and somehow they know what happened to Jamal Khashoggi now. They know they cut him up, they got the tapes, you can hear the saw, and they know the doctor put him on a headset and was listening to music because he didn't want to hear the sound of the bone or whatever. They know all of that. And a woman goes disappearing in Miami, it means the surveillance state is not for you. They don't give a damn about you. If you are a billionaire's son, billionaire's daughter, then your murder investigation will be solved. If you're Joe Blow, woman blue in a Miami airport, they don't give two damns. And the sick part about it is they got the data. They got the data. They're in the crime in America that doesn't happen that they don't already know. They already know. They're just not gonna go look it up. It's just not worth it. Like her going it's not worth having someone sit down and go through the NSA database and a Google database and a Facebook database to know who's Google Watch and Apple phone was around her and where she was at and what was being said. It's just not worth it. She's an American. And Americans vote for everybody. They politicians, they don't do anything for them. So it's just about return on investment. You're not going to get any return on investment finding this Miami woman. You're not. Now, maybe because she's in the news now, you might be a little bit of return on investment, but like going after somebody that came from some poor millionaire's family, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. And this is the long-term effect of voting for violent government, rolling out private, secret tools that we don't know anything about. Eventually, they're going to get here, and this is where we are. So they don't care anything about that. They never do. Amanda Knox denies she is crowdfunding a wedding. I don't know why that's even news. Mueller testimony takeaway. There shouldn't be no takeaways from the Mueller testimony because it shouldn't be a testimony. You need to, don't worry about Russia collusion. You need to think about Federal Reserve collusion. You need to think about Rothschilds owning your country. Trump soaks up Mueller hearing claims win. Well, you know, so they'll cheer there and they'll cheer here and they'll read that and research that to try to get him, because the goal is to get him, not to end slavery and oppression and rape and war. The goal is literally to get the villain and keep villainry. Think about that. What's next after Mueller? Lawsuits and more. So yeah, I think this is probably it. Patricia, I think you're right. I don't know how much more patience I got to read these. Top urologist says, use this to improve your prostate health. Well, first of all, your prostate shouldn't be jacked up. Literally, people get prostate cancer in Japan all the damn time, all over Asia, and they don't die of prostate cancer. That only happens here. Why? Because you're being poisoned and your immune system doesn't work, because most Americans are malnourished, because there's no nourishment in the food, because we don't have robots growing them. We got chemical farmers just putting chemicals on a plant to get it to pop out the ground so they can make as much money on it as possible. So we shouldn't have prostate health issues, all right? You dying from prostate cancer is a sign that you don't have a functioning immune system. And that's the West. Only in the West is prostate cancer an issue. Equifax, let me see. How to file a claim in the Equifax data breach. Well, let me see. Equifax. What is Equifax? Is that taxes? What is that? Why is that familiar? I don't even know why it's familiar, but it has something to do with banking or something. Money shouldn't exist, so I'm not interested in that. U.S. towns that will soon be underwater. That might be kind of interesting. The water's always rising. I'm not interested in CO2 levels and you thinking climate change is happening for 10 years, 1,000 years, or 20,000 years. Completely insignificant. We're going to have people underwater. Why? Because we find the pyramids underwater, so we know the water's always rising. We know that those people, if they were still in them pyramids, they'd still be in them pyramids, they're going to be drowned. You got people who live here, we need to work on a solution for putting some stilts under their house or get them the hell out of Dodge to a place. But these houses, they got to go anyway. Let me see the houses. Oh yeah, all those houses got to get destroyed. All of them. Yep, every last one of them. They should be underwater, all of them. They should all be, yep, not the people, but the houses. All of that should be just gone. All the buildings, some hotels over there, yep, none of that's sustainable. None of it's cob. I don't see any cob. I don't see any tiny houses. I don't see any hemp houses. All of that should go. It's all unsustainable tech, destroying the planet through fossil fuels. All of that should go. Every last bit of it. But we should get the people out and take care of them. What's this? Boy Scouts of America. That already pisses people off. A write-off just by seeing that. I don't know. That's some sort of advertisement. Okay, and then back to that. Okay, that's it. That's all. Y'all want to do top stories? Top stories. Equifax is credit. Right, there you go. Credit shouldn't exist. Credit. Thank you, Patricia. Yeah, credit shouldn't exist. It shouldn't exist. Why would credit exist? Why does a human being need credit on a planet, on an abundant planet? Oh, look, Lowe's, y'all. Look, Lowe's. What's going on? I missed something. Credit shouldn't exist. Why? Because it should be a birthright to exist on a planet you're born on. Not that you got to get credit and have debt. That's stupid. Mueller spoke, but the debate can tell. Okay, it's the same news. It's the same news. The same stupid stuff. Yep, stupid, dumb, stupid. Oh, here's this. This is nothing new. Puerto Rico governor says he will resign amid protest. Yeah, he should resign. Why? Because you shouldn't have governors. If you shouldn't have government, you shouldn't have governors. You need to lead yourself. We shouldn't have this. People just should vote for what they want. It doesn't violate anyone else, and that's the end of it. We just changed history. Cheers and tears in San Juan. No, you guys didn't change history. You didn't, history's still there. History is literally in the past, and it's his story, all right? And so getting together in a violent mob to getting the governor to step down, and it's just an impeachment. That's all it is. You didn't really, you might have made things better today. He could have been foul and dirty and corrupt, but do you think he's going to be replaced with a nice person? Do you think it's going to be replaced? Do you think a system that is designed as a slave state of America is actually going to do anything decent for its people? Not enough. Not enough. But these are like the gestures. They do the gestures like, we won, we're free. And you have no idea what the Federal Reserve is. You are literally trapped underneath. You are slaves, Puerto Rico, with us. And you're worse. That's the damn shame. You'll no longer see the stores near you after 2019. Good. I don't want to see that near me. I don't want to see anywhere. I want to see that near me as much as I want to see him near me. And I'm not even sure who that is. I guess that is Mueller. I don't even know what he looks like. I don't even pay attention because my mama said don't be involved in stupid stuff. My mama said don't join a gang, so I'm not in a gang. All right. I'm done with that. So I don't know what the next distraction is. I see a whole lot of Hollywood stuff and whatever. But you're right. That's what they do. They'll put this stuff out there to get people and drive their day. That's not my day. That's not my day. My day is, let me see, I repotted 2 cherimoya this morning. I got to repot another one. What is my day? My day is I got to buy and sell. So I had to shave yesterday. So I can live in a debt-based society and you got to look a certain way to do that. So I had to do that. What else is my day? I don't know. I don't have any meetings today. I don't have anything planned. Talk hemp a little later. But other than that, that's my day. My day is not on television. My day is not what the destabilizers need to fake like they're building a civilization. That's not my day. All right, let's go down. All right, what did I miss? Exactly, the entire story could be theater. Any story could, right, Patricia? That's why, Patricia, I believe every whistleblower, because no one denies the whistleblowers. Government never says Bob Lazar is lying. They've never said that. They never said it. All the whistleblowers, like they got alien tech, they found spaceships I don't know where they came from. Some look like they were crashed and damaged. Others look like they were pristine, like somebody gave them to them or they found them in a pyramid site. Some had some dirt on it. They're saying all this stuff and the government's not like, they lying. They lying. Nope, we ain't got no aliens. We ain't got no aliens. We ain't got no UFO. Government has never denied anything. Anything. They just said, oh, that's ridiculous. I'm like, that's not a denial. Oh, that just don't make any sense. That's not a denial. Oh, have you seen an alien? I've never seen an alien. That's not a denial. This man accused you of having high energy electric devices that could help people who are dying because they don't have energy. You didn't answer the question. They didn't answer the question, and they did deflect. And so, but that's what I think the Area 51 did. But you don't know what to trust. But Patricia, like I said, I believe every conspiracy against people who are conspiring against me. Bottom line, that's a default. Like if you're lying to me, that means you're conspiring against me, and I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know how bad it's going to be when what you're trying to do unravels itself. So anytime somebody comes to me and says the Democrats is funky and they did something, I believe them. Anytime they come to me and say Republicans funky and they did something, I believe them. Why? Whether it's aliens, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, whatever it is, I agree and I believe all of them. Why? Because they are funky and they always are up to something. That's why. You lie to me, I believe everybody that's against you because you're against me and I don't know why. And that should be default. Shouldn't that be default? Am I crazy to say that? That should be default. If someone's plotting against you, and they've been plotting against you from birth, and they don't give you a right of being a sentient creature. They don't even give you the right of having an ecosystem as a creature without a mortgage, without an agreement that you will work for a big corporation for a life till you die. Morte. Why should I trust anything that they say? So I believe it all. I always listen to a whistleblower. I always go for the whistleblower. Let me go down. I'm gonna get out of here. Dude, that's okay. Bobcat sees you. Oh, that's true, Patricia. You don't have to see the Bobcat. The Bobcat see you. You don't have to worry about that. And that's what I say about the Federal Reserve, Patricia. It's like that. You don't have to see the tiger. You don't have to see the lion. You don't even have to see the grizzly bear. It's okay, because this is how the world works. If you don't see us, guess what? You're gonna see the inside of their belly. That's how. You don't see the Federal Reserve? I don't know why people still don't get the central banking thing. It's okay, you can pretend like you don't see them. You in the woods walking, that grizzly bear. Y'all see the grizzly bear that chased the guy on the bike? Did y'all see that? Everybody in the crowd, did y'all see that? I'm gonna play that because this is important. You don't have to see the grizzly. You literally don't have to. Bear chases. There's some angry faces. It's like, I don't see the bear. I don't want to see the bear. Oh, it's okay, baby. You don't have to see the bear. Wow. Y'all, look at this. I typed in bear. Oh, look at this. Look at all these people not seeing. I got to show you this. Y'all see the angry faces? I typed in bear chasing. And look at this. Bear chasing biker in Alaska. Bear chasing a bear up the tree. Bear chasing a deer. Bear chasing a car. Bear chasing the elk, bear chasing the human, bear chasing the buffalo. Why do bears do that? Why do Federal Reserves chase people? Why do bankers chase people? Because you don't see them. So I guess it was Alaska. That's the one I wanted to show you. And you know, I had to see them. This is the one right here. Check this out. Y'all see this? I love this one. You don't have to see the Federal Reserve. You don't have to see the Rothschilds. You don't have to see the Rockefellers. They see you. You can pretend like you don't see him. All I see is Trump and Obama, whatever, just riding a bike. You don't have to see him. But guess what? They see it. Now you see him now, don't you? You pedaling. Look at this dude pedaling. But this is the front camera because he got his friend behind him, and the friend behind him, see the bears like chasing him down there. Wait till the last minute. See, this is what I believe. I believe if you know bears are in that woods. Stick. All right, it's not funny, y'all. Somebody about to get ate. Somebody about to literally get ate. Why is it funny? All right, so now I'm process this. Why is it funny that the Federal Reserve is chasing you on your bike? Well, because first of all, Eisenhower told you there was a Federal Reserve in that woods, okay? JFK told you there was a Federal Reserve in that woods, okay? Martin Luther King tried to tell you there's a Federal Reserve in that woods. Abraham Lincoln tried to tell you should not have woods with Federal Reserves in them. And you decide to get on your bike and go in there anyway. You decide to pretend the Republicans and Democrats is any different and go in the woods. And now guess what? The bear gonna chase you, put you in his belly, and poop you out his anus. You about to be a pile of nitrate goo, but it's okay because you're gonna have some seeds in you because the bears like berry bushes. You gonna grow a berry bush, some wine berries or some raspberries or something. But look at this. Like, what would you do? This is hilarious. Like, oh my God, I'd have just died. I'd have died, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd die. I stand up to any man. I have no. God was honking a horn at me this morning. We was about to get it. We was about to get issues. He's about to get issues. But I was gonna get him some peace and love and everything, but he didn't have no peace and love. He's gonna get something. The guy I was driving and there was a trash truck in front of me. So I backed up, right? And everybody, I like to drive with the windows open, like to breathe in the fresh air because the glue smell and all that stuff in the car is all toxic anyway. And so I was back from the daggone trash truck. And the guy gonna get behind me and on his phone yelling like he just putting his hands in the air like he having a fit. And I'm like, you have no idea. I'm like, you boy, you better have a gun in that car. You have no idea that I feel no levels of pain. And so we pulled up to the stoplight. He doing all this in the window, like, I was like, okay, listen, I get out the car. And I look right in the rearview mirror, look right at him. You see me, don't you? You see me, don't you, bro? And I said, it's a trash truck in front of me. I don't like no trash. All right, you want to get out? You want to get out? You want us to get out? And he didn't went down in his phone. I know. Well, I'd have loved him. I'd have got out the car. I'd have just hugged him. But here's a funny thing. If I was riding the damn bike and I seen that big stick right there, I'd have died right there. That's it. Story over. That's it. I'm in the bear belly because I ain't trying to pop no wheelie and get over because I wanted to end quickly. I'm okay being eaten by bears and wolves and stuff in Federal Reserve, but I wanted to end quickly. I don't want to like hit the pop a wheelie and then the back tire get caught on the stick and it get in the spoke and click and I fall and I hit my head on the rock and slide and then I got blood coming out of me in my head and the bear like, oh, he disabled. Oh, I ain't gotta do nothing. I'm just gonna poke him a little bit. Because bears, they like flesh. They like old rotten flesh. Oh, he gonna die anyway. The bear like, let me just give him one bite to make sure he die anyway. Because he gonna ripe it up nice. I think he eats smoothies and organic. And it's like, he just like biting my face like the guy in the bear in Faces of Death. And the bear just walk away. Let's see what happens. Okay, he got off the bike. And he got off the bike and he running. Don't climb the tree. Tell me, don't bears climb trees. He gonna climb the tree. No, what he gonna do? That's it? Oh, the bear gave up chase. Oh, hell no. The bear. Oh, somebody saved him. Oh, y'all, did y'all hear that? You hear the gunshot. Okay. All right, so there was a gunshot. So maybe his friend behind him had a gun. So his friend behind him his friend had a direct democracy and he started shooting off the direct democracy and he's like, oh, damn. I want that direct democracy. I don't even know what I was thinking. So apparently this is a thing. People stop going in the woods. There's a moral to that story. Stop going in the woods with Federal Reserves. Stop acting like you got a civilization and they're just destabilizing. No, I'd have died. I wouldn't have been. Oh, no. I wouldn't have been in the woods. Let's be honest, though. I wouldn't have been in the woods. That's why I don't believe in voting for Federal Reserves in the woods. I wouldn't have voted to go in the woods. Hell no, I'm staying at home. I'd have been in the garden. This is why I don't visit my friends nowhere. I went to Vermont, Claudia's house. I almost died. Dark out there. And I pulled up late at night, walking through the damn woods and there's bears in Vermont. Hell no. Hell no. All right. I have 4 kids. There's no way I can make it to every event. And you shouldn't make it to every event, Courtney, and that's good. So their events are children's events. They're children's games. They're playing. They don't have Courtney yelling and screaming because you know Courtney, she probably out there yelling and screaming. She be out there acting a fool. I know she paint her face, Warriors! They're like, Mama, watch it. Oh my gosh, this ain't a game. It ain't about fun. I gotta kill him. That's what I did. That's what I went. But I didn't like get excited and stuff. But I did the standard American thing. I cheered the team sports and I pushed them on. And I think that was stupid. We need to raise kids to be a part of a collective, not a team fighting somebody else, because that turns them into adults that join the military and get used to go kill other people because the CIA destroyed somebody else's country because the Federal Reserve needs to rob them and get loans with the Rockefellers and run the world. We live in a society full of narcissists where everything is a competition and winning no matter what is the name of the game. That's exactly it, Christ. That's exactly. You tried to tell us 3,000 years ago and we ain't listening then, we listening now. We realize that it's all about, we're supposed to just let people touch the hem of our garment, get the cannabis. We're supposed to feed people when they come to the door. We're supposed to look at people's problems, stop telling them what's in the Bible and feed them first. Take one fish, take some water and turn it some bread and turn it into lots of food with automation and robots and feed them. And then people, they can listen to you talk about consciousness and oneness and sovereignty and free will after people have bellies full. We're not just going to kill them and steal their sandwich and call it God is good in America, God, guns, Bibles, and something. That Republican Jesus. All right, let me see. I was the youngest of 4 kids. I could basically do whatever I wanted and did. I'm surprised I'm still alive. The stupid things I did. You know what makes me too? And I was the youngest, so I was like Superman. I did all kind of stuff. I should not be here. I'll tell you the truth. I should not be here. But what I'm thankful for, not actually that I'm here, I'm just thankful that they did not have cameras back then. I'm thankful that all the cameras back then were like too expensive and they were used for TV to lie to people. They were not used to film me doing dumb stuff. There's no way I would get a job ever. And I don't want a job. I don't want one. But there was no way I'd ever have another form of employment. If my employer could go out and say, oh, you want a job? Okay, all right, brother, let me see your resume. Okay, what you got? All right, yeah, well, you wasn't in my fraternity. I don't know if I can help you with that, but you know what? Okay, you got this and this, that, and experience. Okay, you know what? You might be able to do this job. You done did this before and that and that. Okay, you talk correctly, talk good of white folk. You talk the King's English real good. Yeah, you comb your head and shave and everything. Okay, you're all looking good. Let's take a look at your records online. Let's take a let's see what you did when you was 14. Let's go on here and do some searches here. Let me see. Gerard, Kenyatta, hey, let me see you. What the hell? Is that you? Wait, what? You got some sugar and you got some salt. You got a duck and some monkeys. And wait, you gonna put the what in the who? Wait, and you got a stick and some friends? You feel? Oh my God, that is not legal. That you. I don't know. I mean, the dumb stuff that I'm not even on. The dumb stuff I'm not. Listen, I make up a story and I lie with stuff. I would not tell you the stupid stuff I did. I should not be here. I should totally be dead in the ground. But I'm just glad that nobody had no damn cameras back then. Oh my gosh. In college? Oh no. My son better not be watching this. He better not touch no damn alcohol. But I tell you this, when I went to college, my parents dropped me off. What was I, 18, 17? Damn it, it was a bottle of Thunderbird. If it wasn't a bottle of Thunderbird right there, my friend had hit, what he had? Wait. He had Thunderbird, I had Southern Comfort, the friends in the dorm had this, that, and the other. The stuff that happened and the conversations we had. You know, but alcohol will make you dumb, kids. Don't drink that crap. Don't do it. I am so glad none of that was filmed. And I had my limits though. Don't act like I was a drunk. I don't act like I was a drunk for long. I had a problem. They had something called Code 45. Like, you know, they had Billy D on TV. That's what they used the cameras for, because they had Billy D. He had the curly waves, right? See, it was a whole different story back then. But they had Billy D. And he always got the girl. Why? Because he Code 45. He gets them every time. It's like, oh, they get him every time, dude. Oh, damn it, I should drink Code 45 then, because I want to get them every time. And in Code 45 back then, they had the 16 ounce, they had 22, and they literally had a jug. It was 64 ounces. 64, and then me being me, I don't do no things in moderation. I didn't back then. Of course, I got the 64. It was a damn jug. Y'all ever see the milk? I sometimes have them around here. Y'all ever see the milk jugs, like the old jugs, like a big glass jug, and it's got the little hole? The milk jugs, yeah, that. I was sitting here riding the back of somebody's truck going to a party, like drinking 64 ounces of Coke 45. I did not do any of that, by the way. My kids are watching. I ain't never do none of that. I'm just glad they didn't have no camera phones back then. That's all I care about. Team America. Yep, Courtney, should be no team. No more teams. We're done with teams. We evolve, we're human beings. God done said we're all one, we're part of one energy. Quantum physics agrees, science agrees, everybody agrees, we're all one energy. We're having a human experience. Our goal here is to create something that looks like a sentient earth, and we should do that. No more tests. As long as you got a kingdom here and people wearing the jerseys and painting faces and doing the Courtney, yelling out, screaming, fighting at the damn stadium, then people gonna die. No, we don't need to do that no more. We're done with that. And not a new world order. Once again, new world unordered. We don't need any order. Human beings don't need orders, and they don't need to be ordered. All they need to do is be peaceful. And that's the end of it. End of the conversation. I'm done playing team sports with adults. You're not on a team. You're an adult. Let's leave this alone. Let's move on. The only purpose for kingdoms is because the elite want more power over another kingdom by giving you orders. We don't need any more order. Minority Report. Yeah, we're already at Minority Report. Like with what is that? Thought crime. We already got thought crimes, and we're going to move forward. We are going to have more. We have thought crimes now, and Minority Report. In like 1984, it was a documentary explained where we're going to go because people are using it as an instruction manual. Why? Because the American people are divided and they're stupid. So that's going to happen. Hey, good morning, brother Kevin. Let me see. Let me get that. I'm way up the comments. I got to get that thing out of here. FBI is the Fudge Boy Institution. Yeah, that's the Credit Bureau, Equifax. Right, human beings don't need damn credit. That's stupid. Credit for work makes sense, but currency is different means. Well, see, Ty, this is where I think we disagree. I just don't agree with money. I don't agree. I think money is a thing, and it should be a thing on planets with sentient creatures. I don't think we're sentient. I don't think we've evolved enough to have money. I think children should be born, and they should have the rights of a monkey. They should have the right to have a tree with some bananas and go live their banana delicious life. That's what I think. I don't think money should exist. I don't think we're ready for it. I really don't. I think when you let people die from not having something, and the majority of the population agrees that a child born that wasn't born with money in its butt, hands, pockets, mouth, nose, ear, something, if the human being wasn't born with it and it dies because it doesn't have it, to me that's not evolved. So I don't believe in credit nor money. I don't believe in any of it. Yes, credit is definitely part of the illusion. Absolutely, the illusion that we should keep going forward with a system that we're not ready for. We're not evolved enough to have it yet. We're not evolved to have power over other people, and that's really what it is. It's the ability to have human labor and put it in the form of digits or gold or currency and put it in the bank so you can use that slavery, and your slavery is a little valued higher than somebody else's slavery because you went to college and they were born in a poor family. And I don't think that's sentient. I think that's evil, and I think Christ completely disagrees. Christ, you disagree? Where Christ at? Christ Henderson here, yo. I know she disagrees. He disagreed, completely disagreed. Why? Because the only time Christ got mad was to overturn the money changers in the church. Maybe we should start looking at their credit. No, Courtney, they have no credit because they don't have jobs. The elite don't have credit. They just print the money. They have no jobs. They never worked a day in their life. They tell us to work and work harder and harder and harder, and they never work, and their kids don't work, and their grandkids ain't work. Great-grandkids ain't gonna work until the planet blows up. They don't want to work, so they have no credit. They never had a job. They probably have bank accounts. They just go places and just put the name on the table. They don't even have. I did that once when I went to London. People just went there. They got eating clubs in London. I said it before, but I won't go there. They got eating clubs, and you don't need money. If you're a member in the club, it's a big club. If you're in it, then you bring Gerard, and he can have lamb chops falling off with a bone that he couldn't possibly afford. But he had a friend who had connections. Let me see, Gerard. There surely is a lot of bank loan and credit stuff in your newsfeed. Either you are filthy rich or dirty poor. In either case, they're trying to get you. Yes, that's very true, Ivana. You choose which. You choose which. You know what I think it is? I think because I don't really fit either category. And to be honest with you, if I did, I wouldn't tell y'all anyway. I think it's because I'm always talking about the Federal Reserve and banking. I think that's what it is. I'm always like hating on money, and I talk to people about it, and we have conversations, and all these little phones and devices, they're always recording like Jamal Khashoggi's was, like that lady who went missing in Miami was, and the data that they're not pulling. They're always listening. And so because I'm probably talking about it all the time, they're like, oh, he's trying to get a loan. I'm like, nope, I'm not literally trying not to get a loan. I got rid of pretty much all of my credit cards but one. And so I don't believe in the credit system at all. I don't take out any loans, don't want any more loans. I actually don't even want money or bank account. My goal is to get a little place somewhere with a greenhouse inside another greenhouse and a tiny house. That's literally my dream. My dream is to live in a greenhouse. It'd be like an outdoor room, like we used to live back in the day when we were sentient. So yeah, I get that. I get a lot of other weird stuff in there. I'm getting Chantix. I can almost whistle. I know the whole Chantix commercial. I know the whole damn commercial. Why? Because somebody asked me about vaping. And so I looked up vaping. And it's been like 3 months now. All I see is Chantix commercial. I think it's a non-smoking thing. And it's ridiculous. It actually is. They could be using this technology to find that woman in Miami. And I ain't doing it. Since I started this, what we've been going about 2 hours now? Probably about a couple thousand people have gone missing all over the world. And instead of Chantix using to find out if I'm interested in vaping and I'm a smoker, because they get it all wrong, they actually could be finding missing people. Government is fine when limited. Okay, it's fine when limited. It's 2019, 725. Okay, Ty, government is fine when it's limited. I don't want to agree with you. I don't think we need one. I like the word facilitatament. That's what I like. I like strawberry mint, I like orange mint, and I like to have a facilitatament. I just think we need people to facilitate adults that are living their own free lives, doing what they choose to peacefully do. And we need someone just to facilitate the resources, not hold the resources. Not socialism, not where the king get the resources and decide who can have it. No. I think that they facilitate and make sure everybody got houses, food, land is allocated, and everybody have everything they need. And they get judged on gross domestic happiness. If everybody's happy, then they get to stay as a facilitator. But when happiness starts to fall off, you fire them and bring somebody. But I don't like the idea of government. All I see is just, maybe because I'm an American, it's just oppression. It's just oppression. It's just like, yeah, like Susan, it's just creating a predator class. It's creating a predator class and giving them power that they shouldn't have. And anytime something has power over you, it will almost always use it against you. So I used to believe in small government. Now I don't believe in any of it. Like Ty, I think he was here. I think I told everybody. I'm for the collapse now. I'm cheering the asteroid or the collapse, one or the other. I want a slow collapse so we can take care of each other. But I think if things collapse tomorrow, nothing will change. Nothing important will change. Nothing important will change. I don't think it will. Honestly, I don't. And the reason why I don't is because they go to great lengths in America to try to convince us that anarchy would be horrible, that we need the government. We need them so bad for the food and roads and everything. And here's my theory, and I could be completely wrong. But if I were a guy or a gal, and I worked on the roads, and I drove on the roads, guess what I would do if everything collapsed tomorrow? I'd get up tomorrow morning, and I go work on the roads. I might drink some cannabis tea on the way. I might stop and get some seeds and plant them because the government ain't here, which is not free. I might do a free dance, but I like to drive on roads, so I would go do that. I worked at the power company. I'd go to the power company. Why? Because my kids need power. If I worked in a casino, I would not go to work. I wouldn't go to work because the job is useless. I don't need it for anything. I'm not there gambling anyway. I'm like sweeping up and cleaning up people's vomit and stuff. What the hell am I going to do that? I ain't going to go. If I was a banker, there's no economic system anymore. Why am I going to work? I ain't going to go to work. If I was in finance or I worked for Equifax, I wouldn't go to work at all. You know, if I worked in a hospital and I was a doctor that gave two damns about people, guess what I would do? I'd go to work. If I were a nurse and I gave two damns about people and saving them and helping them, healing them, not like stealing drugs and giving them to my boyfriend so he can sell on the street or something like that, nah, I wouldn't go. But if you're doing things and you care about what you're doing, if you're in your passion, you're going to go do it anyway. If you're a teacher and you're passionate for teaching, not just you got a business degree and you keep getting fired everywhere else because you're a pedophile, then you go to teaching, right? But if you're a teacher and you love kids, you like teaching them, you'll keep doing it. So I'm definitely a collapser. I think we'll be fine. I think our only risk point is food. I think that's the only risk point. And that's why I try to tell everybody, and I try to put plants in everybody's hands. I try to give everybody seeds. I tell you everything I know about growing. I tell you how to grow with aquaponics. I'll tell you what mycorrhizal fungi is, and I study all of that stuff. And I'm constantly running experiments and changing my aquaponic system up to learn how to grow easier and cheaper and more efficient. Saving seeds generation to generation so they grow more better and better and better in aquaponics. All my efforts are in that direction. I mean, even that Patreon thing I did is just simply for that. It's not for me. It's just for buying actuators, robotic arms, and like progressing the automated food growing thing. Didn't spend a dime of it. Ain't gonna spend a dime of it till I talk to y'all. We can make a decision about what we'll spend it on. If you want to drop a penny in the bucket. But everything I do it's completely in that direction. The one problem we have is we can't feed people, and the government ain't gonna do it. They don't give two damns, right? They make money starving people. They don't make money feeding people. So we need to have open source solutions so every community has the one thing it needs so that when America falls apart, because America's not really falling apart, it's being felled, right? Like, we're not starving, we're being starved. We're not in conflict. They are giving us conflicts to keep fighting each other. And the one thing that would not let things go the way I think they'll go is food. Food and water. Everybody has food and water, and the people who have meaningless jobs won't go. The people who have meaningful jobs will go. And the people who are in the wrong field will swap that field and go into the thing that they love because all their needs are being taken care of. So I think the biggest thing in the 2020 election is to ignore the election. The biggest thing is to make sure that we have food. And if we did that, because we have the wealth, right? We robbed all the other nations, we stole their minerals, their resources, we kitted out this automated world. If we actually do that, others would mimic it. We literally would make America great. We feed everybody. In Switzerland will pick it up, somebody else will pick it up, everybody else will pick it up. Rothschild, they lined it up to collapse America like they did during the Great Depression with the Rockefellers and the rest. And they thought we were going to turn into fools fighting each other because we didn't have power and water. But people have wind vanes, they got water generators, energy, the lights are still on, they got solar panels, and they got food. And it failed. Like, you literally stopped their whole program just making people strong again. Helping teach people how to take care of themselves. So that's why I don't believe in government at all. I don't think we need one. I honestly don't. I don't think we need one at all. Like, I asked that question, got a lot of great responses. Like, what do you actually need government for? Some of those responses were really, some were pretty funny, but some were really interesting, right? Most people that most of my friends, the ones that aren't scared to say something, they don't really see a need for it anymore. It doesn't do anything for you. Man, I got potholes out here. I can't even go nowhere. We still got potholes from winter, and it's damn almost winter again. There's a guy down the street. He got tired of this pothole. We got potholes big as children in Yemen. And our government is all bombing. There's a guy down the street. He went and filled, well, he's not down the street, he's in Jersey. He was in the news. He went down the street and filled in the damn pothole. He was sick and tired of the damn pothole, and he filled it in. You know, and they came out, the authoritarians, the government, they came out not to fill the pothole. Within 24 hours of him filling the pothole, it was in the news. They gave him a citation. They literally came out with people in a car that could have had a bag of rocks and some cement and filled the hole within 24 hours that he filled it in. And they came out there just to give him a citation. I'm done with the whole thing. I'm done with all of it. I'm done with the whole thing collapsed. It could all go back to hell from whence it came. All right, let me get down and read the comments I'm getting here. I used to live in Alaska. Bears are very dangerous. Ivana, you don't have to tell me that. I saw books and pictures of Alaska. The bears are pretty big and they fit little brown bald guys in their stomachs. I'm not going. I'll look at Alaska from the airplane like, oh, look, y'all, it's Alaska. Oh, it's Alaska. Daddy, can we land? No, we ain't going to land. That's Alaska. They literally got roller bears, polar bears, and grizzly bears. The roller's the one that's mixing together because the climate's not changing. So the polar bears and the grizzly bears getting together doing their thing. No, we're not landing. No, nope. Not worry about me landing. Nope. Is the Federal Reserve down there? Nope. I don't need land. I'm good to go. Some Rothschilds and Rockefellers down there. They get somebody, and the Clintons, and they get people in any prison or murder anybody they want. Nope. We're not landing down there. We're gonna keep flying. Federal Reserve and the government chase people so they can take away our bare necessities. That's it, John. That's it. They chase people to starve people. They chase people to take away what they have, to starve them, to go get them to fight other people. Exactly. That's why Christ Henderson turned over the it turned over the tables in the church when the bankers were in there. That's the whole purpose. The government works with the banks. They're literally starving people. They have different. The banks have different evaluations of currency, and this is how they play people, and they day trade economies and nations like they're playthings, and people die, and that's stupid. Saw something cute this morning. People who wanted dogs and ended up with house bears. Lots of laughter. Super cute, huge dogs. Yeah, I like dogs. I love dogs. Dogs are wolves. I used to have an Akita, and they were like little lions. Very, very protective. Beautiful dogs. We got to see how the bear run ends. Yeah, well, he made it, Patricia. They had a JFK that told him about the Federal Reserve, so the bear didn't eat him. I don't want to be bearish. Tony, Anthony, can I call you Tony? Yeah, you don't want to be bear-proof, but you're going to be proof. It's your destiny. It's just nothing you can do about it. Like your energy, and when your body dies, it's going to go do whatever it does, whatever dimension, heaven, multiverse, string theory, all of that stuff. It's going to go to Shangri-La, whatever. But you, the rest of you that's still here, you don't have many options, Tony. You don't got many options, man. You bear poop, you wolf poop, your dog poop, your slug poop, worm poop. Like, that's just your future. I know mama told you your future's gonna be bright. I know. My mama told me that too. Your future's literally not bright. It's no brightness. The future of these biological bodies is darkness. It's gonna be on the ground, under some poo and some weeds, and things gonna grow on top of it with some grass or something. Or it's gonna be in a casket, and worms gonna be in our eyes, and slugs pooping down our throat. That's our future. I know. I'd rather be bear poop. At least I'm closer to the sun. And I won't feel anything. All right, let me get down. I gotta get out of here. The Great Hack on Netflix. I'll add it to my list, Rebecca. Thank you. I didn't watch it. My Netflix is what's everybody watching on Netflix? My Netflix is The Society. I just finished it up, so I just started Bob Lazar. I love The Society. Don't want to give you a spoiler alert at all. This was season 1. I love it. I love it. I love good examples, and I'd love to talk about it. And I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna give you a spoiler alert if you don't watch it. I give you some time to watch it. I binge watch things. Good example on a society. It's just kids, and they got to make their own government. Great show, fantastic show, and a fantastic ending too. The cliffhanger didn't hurt too much. I hate shows that got bad cliffhangers at the end of the season. Good show, The Society. You should watch it. Good example as to what we have today and the decisions we need to make. And a lot of good acting. They even got a psychopath. Perfect. Lead him to berries, right, guy? Well, you can lead him to berries, and the bear, he doesn't want to eat you. He just wants to go for the berries. 87% of the population doesn't know the Fed, what the Fed is. Couldn't name the first thing about it. No, they couldn't, Ty. What's the percentage for the government? How many of the 2020s know what the Federal Reserve is and fractional reserve banking? I bet you they don't know. I bet you most of the government, most of the 2020s think that the Federal Reserve works for them. I bet you they do. I bet you most of Congress thinks that the Federal Reserve does what Congress tells them to do. I think they do. But this is why you got a problem when you literally have a Congress that reads the Washington Post to get their news. It's sickening. It's sickening. But most people don't. That's why I talk about the Federal Reserve every day, Ty. Keep people focused. People do everything for money. Everything. And these people print the money. They literally hold our nation hostage. And right now, through our nation being thug life, they're holding the entire world hostage. And they're going to burn the whole world up. They're going to burn it all up. We're all going to die and burn it up. we don't grow the hell up and take their power away. You know, the Democrats ain't gonna take it away, and the Republicans ain't gonna take it away neither. They are literally employees. They are trying to get a retirement and bunker keys. All right, let me see. One person deciding to shoot a gun. Now, direct democracy doesn't. Oh, does it make one person shooting? One person deciding to shoot a gun. No direct democracy. Does it make? Well, Rebecca, I guess we still disagree there. We already have a direct democracy. We're just not direct. We're just not the direct. We literally have a directed democracy. Literally. We're just not the direct. We don't get to direct the democracy. Right now, we have an elite directed democracy. I just want to take it closer to a more sentient level of a human, a citizen directed democracy. That's it. But we already got direct democracy. The only question is, do we want to be a part of the direct, or we want to just keep letting them be the direct? Big corporations. So sometimes you can't get the instant work. I know what Rebecca's saying. She's a big anarchist person, and so am I. But sometimes you got to take baby steps, because like kind of Ty said, most people don't even know what the Federal Reserve is. Like, we got to take baby steps. And so the next step is direct democracy. And I think people will go for that. I think it's a hot topic because most adults want a control of their own lives. That's a popular, viral going thing. And you got to give people something that's popular to drown out what Hollywood is up to. The majority operate under a hive mind mentality. Yes, they do, Christ. That's why your daddy gave us free will. College Gerard sounds hot. Was I hot? Yeah, I was. Actually, I was. I'm shooting. My college, I was shooting. They called me Shaka Zulu. I used to work out. a lot. I went to college. I was like, I ain't playing. We was at the gym all the time. We had free keys to the gym. The gym was open all the time. It was right around. Oh, we was all the time. All the time. We had. I tell you why too, Ty. I tell you why. I went to a college where it was already like 60 to 70% female. And somewhere around the second semester, like 50% of the guys would fail out, drop out, or leave. Yeah, I was at the gym all the time. I know, and then I grew up and I was like, all right, I ain't going to the gym no more. I work in the garden. I think I was. I ain't sure. I don't know. Maybe I was. Sometimes you think you're like, no, I got people. I went to college with them. Like, no, you was not. You was a geek, bro. Not at all. All right. Yeah, I've been a nerd my whole life though. But nerds, you guys look in the mirror. You gotta see something decent. I was a nerd. I looked in the mirror. It's like, I make nerd look good. Like, whoever you are, it doesn't matter who you are. You bet to be looking in that mirror every damn day, telling yourself how you look. I'm trying to tell you, you better be saying positive things in that mirror every day. Don't fall in this whole self-pity. I need to work on this, and my butt got some cottage cheese and this and that and that. Look at that cottage cheese. Be like, that's the sexiest cottage cheese anybody have ever had. I'm gonna take that and spread that on some bread and bagels, toasted. Every day. You better love yourself. I'm telling you, this world don't love you. You better love yourself. You better love yourself. You are perfect just how you are. You can make it better. Always make something better. But you better accept who you are today, and you better love it today. And teach your children to love it. Don't you let no stupid society starving thousands of people teach you what cute is, what good looking is, what hot is. You're hot. Wherever you are right now, you are hot. You better know that. I'm trying to tell you. This world will beat you down. That is the goal, is to beat you down. That's what pyramids do. Just financially is trying to beat you down. Psychologically is trying to beat you down. Freedom-wise, because everybody's trying to get to the top of it. So they're constantly pushing you down. And so now what's sexy is some skinny person with cologne and perfume that chokes the hell out of you when you're 1,000 feet behind them at the mall. That ain't sexy. I'm sorry. That's called toxic poisoning other people because you got insecurities about your sense. All right. Let me get out of here. Bhutan. I ain't never reading about Bhutan today. People would actually think before they commit thought crime. Yeah, well, I don't know that I even agree with crime anymore, fun. I think people doing things so they don't die, I don't think it's crime. I think the only thing that's a crime is violence. That's it. I think that's the only crime. If what you do is violent, it's a crime. Short of that, I don't think crime exists. Oh, I'm really gonna have to go because my mom calling me. English food is gross anyways. It is, Courtney, isn't it? I'm sorry, any English people here? I'm sorry, no, it's not. My opinion is relative. I'm just sorry. I went there one day when I was there. For breakfast, they were eating blood pudding. Went to a bar, they had haggis. Yeah, I know. Coming from a guy who used to eat pig feet. But I was a kid. I didn't know this pig feet. I didn't know. My mama didn't tell me. She told me late. She told me late in the game. I was indoctrinated. I used to get the knuckle. I did eat them pig toes. I get it right out the jar. Suck the cartilage right off the knuckle, just chewing, because if you chew on the cartilage on the end of the knuckle, you can get that last little bit of salty. That's good pig feet. I had no idea. I wasn't that bright, y'all. I had no idea. I wasn't that bright before 8. I didn't know that was actually pig feet. I thought they called it pig feet. You had milk duds, and you know they weren't milk duds. You know, we had Mike and Ike's. We didn't know there wasn't no Mike and Ike in the thing. So how did I know there was pig feet? I didn't know. And then my mom was like one day, that's pig feet. I said, that's what? You mean like a pig foot? That's pig feet. That ain't no pig feet, mama. And I looked at the jar and I was like, oh my God. Like, that's a damn knuckle. So I had no business talking about haggis and the rest of it. We ate chitlins and stink up the whole house, smell like doo-doo. But now they're wealthy and they call them chitterlings. Put them in a glass. Human beings are weird creatures, y'all. I don't know. We're indoctrinated creatures. We break everybody from birth. We tell the humans what is good and bad, and they believe that crap. It's like 80% of the world's population eat bugs. 80% of the world's population eats bugs. Bugs. B-U-G-S. And then people in the West act like lobsters and crabs ain't bugs. You know, lobster, crab, and shrimp, that's just a big bug. That's all. It's big exoskeleton, live in the water. Same damn thing. You open it up, crack it open. We used to go crabbing all the time. When you crack it open, you know what's on the inside? Okra. The same thing that's inside the spider. You step on the spider, you ever step on a cockroach? All that okra comes out, you step on. Okra oozes out. And then you cook it, then it gets consistency. People try to convince me, you cook okra, it gets crispy. I know when you cook snot, it gets crispy too. I know, because when we was kids, we didn't have tissues. We didn't have mamas chasing us with tissues. We had the antibacterial wipes. We had things called sleeves. You had a runny nose, you just go like this. I got it. Hang on. I got it. And what happened to that okra later? It dry up, you scratch the hell out of yourself. That's how your mama knew. It's like, mama, how you know I'm not using the tissue at school? You got just crusted, like, it's like, what are they corsets? What are those the flower things you put around cufflinks? You got like a snot cufflink. And your mother, no. It's funny. My mother was a superhero. She's just a brainiac. She knew every damn thing. All right, I gotta get out of here. Let them cue the end of the music. I really gotta go. I gotta get slavery on, y'all. I got some slavery to do today. I got to pay bills. I got to get going. You still live, G? Nice. No, I am not live, Daniel. I'm about to my thing. I gotta get the hell out of here. People are going to fight each other and steal if everything collapses. I think they will, Megs, if they don't have the things they need to steal. As long as people have their bare necessities, those simple bare necessities of life. Y'all know the bare necessities. I have to make half a song a long time ago. When people have the human necessities, they don't risk dying. This is a gun country, gun culture, and that's a good thing. That's a good damn thing. Why? Because when you have guns, you have people who behave. You don't ever know who has one. When people have the bare needs, trust me, listen, you know what, Meg? Trust the humans. Trust human behavior. If human beings got power, water, food, a house, and Sega Genesis, they still playing Sega Genesis, whatever the video game is, a basketball, a racket, some beer, and a tractor pull. Ain't nobody risking no guns. Ain't nobody is going to anybody's house for a can of beans. They got all the beans they need. It's abundance. When there is abundance and people have what they need, they just want to be themselves and live their life. They have no interest in theft. People only steal when they have a government who steals from them because they stole it from another country and they sell it back to them. That's the only reason why people steal. You know, if they got gas to drive their car, they got electric cars, everything will hold together. Open source solutions is a euphemism because otherwise that's governing that idea. Open source is a euphemism? Maybe, because otherwise that's governing. Well, yeah, I mean, it's got some rules around open source. When I say open source, Ty, I mean like no secrets, right? Like no secrets. Like, there are no secrets. Like, there's no point for a corporation to have secrets. No point for government to have secrets. Like, totally open source. But I see what you're saying. I see where you're going. I see what you're doing. Yeah, I get it. I'm saying with like government with like guns. I'm okay with the government have servers. I'm okay with the government with bubble gum. I'm okay with a government with all of those things. But when government has guns, right? When the kings have swords and daggers and militaries, that's when I got a problem. And that's part of why the founding fathers said no. That's part of why the federal government can't actually have a military, because it always goes the same way when they have it. U.S. is an international slave warehouse, improved, ? Means the ruling class loses. Are they ready for change? Hell no, Tony. Hell no, Anthony. Hell no. They're not ready for change. That's what I mean. That's what this whole voting thing is like. Oh, we're gonna do some change. They literally make their money on not changing. They get in power and stay in power by not changing the flow of money. They change the flow of money, they get thrown out. That's why there are no baby changes. There's no duct tape. There's no Band-Aid we can put on the system. It has to go. It either needs to get rebooted back with a constitutional convention if you ever get your states out of corruption, or the whole damn thing needs to collapse. It needs to go. You can't have systems that murder children and give us the spoils. That's stupid. Totally agree with you. Let me see. Government is the reaction to anarchy, extremes. It's the pendulum and how, not if. Right. And I would, can I shift that tie and say government's not a reaction to anarchy, but it's a reaction to chaos. Because anarchy is not a bad thing. Anarchy is a great thing. It's freedom. Families are anarchs, right? Families are anarchy. But when there's chaos and violence and they push that pendulum all the way back and we need slavery, I don't like this, tell me what to do. And that's what it is. You're right. And in fact, that fits with Democrats and Republicans. That's exactly what they are. They swing that pendulum too damn hard, and that's part of why we can't get out of this mess. Fear of chaos, and I don't think there's any chaos in not having a government. Not when people have an internet that shows them how to be capable and get what they need without killing and robbing other people. As long as we got an internet and they can go out to YouTube, figure out how to grow this, make this, do that, they're not gonna risk getting shot. It's like the bear. When the bear comes out, does he go after the person on the fast bike or the slow bike? Right? Does he go after the person that look like they're lean and got muscles everywhere and a six-pack, or he have to go after the person that got a little cottage cheese? Bears like cottage cheese on their food. They go after that cottage cheese. They like fat. Fat, delicious. Same reason I was sucking sucking the knuckles of the pig, because you like the fat. Bears want the fat. They want the most energy from the least amount of effort. And so if people can go out to YouTube and know how to fix this, they'll fix it. Before they'll go rob anybody and risk having a clan of people come after them with torches and guns and shoot them or get shot in the house. Down the bottom. Oh, Chris Lewis is in the house. Oh, snaps. You came in extra late. Yeah, you do, Chris. We need to do a stream. Ty, we need to do a stream too. Y'all need to stop faking the funk, ducking people. When we gonna stream? We should do another stream. Y'all wanna do a trifecta again? Y'all hit me up. We'll do a trifecta this weekend. I don't think I got anything planned. Let me see. We need government that puts quality of life before profits. Absolutely. To me, Susan, that actually is like what everybody thinks they're gonna get when they have a government. That's what everybody thinks. That's what yeah, Patricia, they called me Shaka Zulu. Because I was dark. I had most of my friends, they was light skinned, got green eyes, curly hair, pretty Ricky, what they called them. Me, I was dark. I used to be pretty cut too. They called me Shaka. I know it's racist, isn't it? But I told you, Patricia, racism wasn't a thing. As I was a kid, it wasn't no thing. You get on the bus, I was all kind of names before I sat in my seat. I had to go past 50 seats full of children just throwing racial slurs and color slurs. And when I was going to school, we had smoke, we had black, we had stink, we had funk. Everybody had a name. We had pale horse. Everybody had a name, and none of it was racist, and nobody cared. But today, everybody take themselves so damn serious. Let me see. I gotta go. Patsy's in the house and Mandy's in the house. But I got to go. Jennifer in the house. Y'all came in late. I gotta go. Let me get down to the bottom. Isn't greed one of the 7 deadly sins? You would think, Max. You need to tell the Christians. You let them know. They even forgot. The Muslims too, and the Jews. You let them know. They're a little vague on history. Consent to steal, right? And that's what time we get, and everything is manufactured consent. We give them consent to steal, rob, destroy, murder, blow up, everything. And that's what voting is. You're giving consent that it's okay to go murder people, steal things, and bring things home and give them to me. That's what it is. It's literally consent. It's like little kids leaving, like parents going to work or whatever. Bye, mommy. You know, and when you're on vacation and you at home and your mama going to work. Bye, mommy. Bring me something back. Like, you know, parents would go, they go on a trip or vacation or do something. They going out on a date night, you there with the babysitter. You're like, bring me something back. That's what voting is. You're like, okay, y'all go to Venezuela and murder a bunch of people, mommy. Bring me back some lollipops. Give me an I voted sticker. Go ahead and kill all those kids in Yemen and bring me something back. I consent. I pull my lever. It's nice and peaceful because I don't have the blood on my hands. Ain't a world full of lollipops worth somebody murdering in my name to give me something. Y'all can take that. You can take your what's everything they're promising. You can take your health care, your wall. You can take your rights that you had no right to steal from me anyway. You can take your vaccine. You can take your universal basic income. You can take roll that up with some what else y'all promising? You can roll that up with your reparations, and you can take all of that drenched in blood stuff that you murdered for, and you can shove it deep up your anus. That's what you can do. That's what you can do for me. That's all you can do for me. But you can't give me nothing. You can't bribe me. I don't want nothing that you got. You're killers. I don't want none of it. Not till you get sentience. Not till you have some level. When you can get things without robbing other people, then we're good to go. I want out of the gang. I want out the car, Ricky. I went out the gang. I don't want to be in this gang no more. I thought the gang was for safety. I didn't join. I thought y'all was keeping the neighborhood safe. I looked at the advertisement. You had Democrat, Republican everywhere. I didn't think y'all was killing people. I didn't. I was raised as an American. We flag, love everybody, and God we trust, not in blood and murder and thou shalt steal, kill, destroy, covet, and blow every damn thing up and destroy the earth instead of being steward, being a moron. Nah, I believed it. But you know what? Now I realize. I know who y'all are. Now I see you. I didn't see you. Now I see you. I see you now. I went out the gang. I'm done. I know. Y'all mad at me, but I don't want to be in your gang no more. Your gang ain't about happiness and love. I finally grew up. Took me a minute. Took me 45 years, but I finally done grew up. I don't want any parts of your gang. All right? I don't even know what that meant. I want to do pop. Why does like pop make things official? It's official. It's done. That's right. All right, I gotta go. Maybe it was last YouTube. I gotta get out of here. All right, Miss T wants to be bird poop. Okay, yeah, that should be kind of cool. But I want to be like bird. I'm gonna fly though. Can I fly if I'm bird poop? I pass it on and I transcend into something else. I want to be like a bird in the ocean, so like an eagle, like something sexy. Oh, pterodactyl. Oh, I'm asking, is that pterodactyl real? Somebody help me. Hang on, I gotta show you something. I was about to go. Reset the music. I saw this the other day. You know, I'm always watching crazy stuff. People send me crazy stuff. Did y'all know it was a pterodactyl picture with the Civil War? Did y'all see that? Is that real? I don't know. Somebody probably sent me too because they know I get excited by that stuff. It was a pterodactyl. Did y'all see this? Apparently, there was cause you know, people got Photoshop. They like get everybody all excited. Pterodactyl Civil War. There was a Civil War picture before they had Photoshop. But somebody changed some dates on something and put 18 something. No, pterodactyl Civil War picture. It was a picture. Where's it at? Where is it at? Is this real? Was this debunked? Anybody got on a meta bunk? Anyone go out on? I can't find it. I probably could if I go to Google. I just don't want to go to Google and search. They don't plant trees. I always go to Eco Asia. Nobody knows. Nobody. Y'all didn't see that pterodactyl picture. Oh, wait. I'm bringing. I'm shooting. I'm playing video. Bring this thing up. Hang on. I know. I was supposed to be in, and I want to get out of here. I just want to know if this is true. I'm not going to be using this channel to save the world right now when most pterodactyls is real. I do. I think they lie about everything. They say they found the dinosaurs all over Africa. Like this right here. This is it right here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this right here. Look at this. Is this real? They debunk this. I need to know what I need to believe in.
Illinois claimed that 2 giant birds chased them and the soldiers and a large be explained. With the advent of 5 pictures that number 5, the mystery of the Civil War pterodon photograph. This old-looking photo shows a few Union soldiers and a large pterosaur that we're led to believe was shot down by those men. The big question is whether or not this is an accurate version of a real photographic recording during the Civil War. Tteradon is a genus of pterosaurs that included some of the largest known flying reptiles. Most of these ancient dinosaurs had a wingspan of over 6 meters or 20 feet wide and existed in North America, specifically present-day Kansas, Alabama, Nebraska, Wyoming, and South Dakota. According to the story, the bird was shot down by soldiers during the American Civil War in 1864 near the city of Vicksburg. For over 200 years, people in these areas of the United States have reported enormous birds. The bird sightings are so prevalent that the creatures have been given the name Thunderbirds, which is taken from Native American mythology. In many cases, Thunderbird reports are accompanied by large footprints. Probably the most controversial report surfaced on July 25th, 19...
How about the rest of it? I got to get going. But look, I wanted to show you. Is it just... it's true because it's on the internet. So when I look at things like it's a plausibility thing, right? So if the Native Americans were talking about these big birds that they always used to see around, did you say it's impossible? Like, Ivana, don't be smashing up my dreams. Leave me alone. Stop it. I'm dreaming. If we got quantum physics, right? And you got a bird, didn't you just say it was a bird that was found by the roadside yesterday from 1,000 miles away? I know that was you. Don't pretend that wasn't you. So don't sit and tell me that it's impossible. All right, everything's possible. Everything in quantum physics is possible. If everything is energy and we're in a simulation, it's a hologram, time literally doesn't exist. Neither does distance. So if distance doesn't exist and distance and time in the same equation, then it's the same equation. So if something could go pop and energy blow up, whatever, things change, I don't know, quantum craziness happens, and you get shot forward, you could be a pterodactyl, you can mind your own pterodon business. You just ate some humans, you about to poop out something, and all of a sudden you fly through a cloud, next thing you know, like, that triangle that's hot, the Bermuda Triangle. You could be flying through, you fly through, next thing you know, like, what the hell? It's buildings? And I say human-looking monkey things. They're killing and eating each other and spraying pesticide on their foods and carcinogens, and they got this thing called gut. And you just want, is this real? Because it's possible. It's everything quantum physics, y'all. Everything's possible. I'm just curious, did one fly through and like, oh damn it, it's too violent. How the hell do I get back to the to the Paleolithic? How do I get back to the dinosaur age where you actually had sentient creatures? We had Tyrannosaurus Rex that only ate their fill. They weren't greedy and trying to take more. I don't know. Somebody tell me if this is true. I'm just curious. I'll post a link. Y'all can watch it. I need to know, was this real? That's what I want to know. Was this a real picture? This looked like it was before Photoshop. But they get funky with it, because this right here, this could be a log. They get it, because I used to play Photoshop. That could be a log or a rock, and he's got his hand. That, you know what that could be? That could be like a head of one of the Rothschilds or Rockefellers. He could be standing pose. But then they flip it all. But I don't know. Listen, but that's what I want to be. How'd I get there? That's what I want to be. If I'm gonna end up in some poo, I want to be some flying poo. I want to be in like a pterodon. This pterodon, like specifically, brought forward in the future with some quantum physics, flying. It was another one, a watch. I didn't finish. So I want to be flying, and it just pooped me out over the ocean. I just go, spread. That's what I want to do. But I wouldn't be there because I'm energy, and I just go to the other dimension anyway. But if I'm going to get eaten, I want to be that. Let me ask you one more thing. Is one more true? I think this was the same video. There was a watch they said they found in China. Right here. Look at this. It was China from 400 years ago, and this was a watch. So they found a watch in a China tomb that's been sealed for 400 years, but it was like a ring watch, and it looks like, and it says Swiss on it. And this is in the U part. If y'all don't watch, you know what a U part is. Out of place artifact. All right. So they found it. It looks like a Swiss watch. It has the time correct. It's got 2 hands. It says Swiss on the back, but it's an actual ring. So it's a replica. And they're saying it's evidence of time travel. I don't know if it's true. Kind of makes some sense. Maybe it's like the burger, Ivana, who said that's impossible now. The watch could have went back in time, and they found it, and it was going tick, 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 and the Egyptians and the Chinese were like, oh my God, this is like powerful technology. Might be the same way they got them alien ships. Area 51, that's possible too. So it might be that it went back in time, they got it, and they made a replica of it because they were trying to replicate the watch so it'll click and do that powerful thing that the Swiss watch was doing that's going to change and save the world. But it's a replica. And so I'm curious about, like, the archaeologists opened the tomb, the rock fell, hit the stone, they heard a metal sound, picked it up. You watch it, let me know if it's true. I ain't going. I'm just curious. I just don't think anything is what we think it is. That's what I think. I think nothing is what we think it is. I think maybe they did get them UFOs and some sort of thing. It was experiment. I don't know. I had to go. I can't even see the comments. I had to go. Somebody posted link. One more on the Civil War pterodactyl. Comments found this story behind the photo. Thank you, Patricia. I'm gonna click on that as soon as we're done because I want to know. I had to get going. Lots of extinct animals resurface. Yeah, they do, Rebecca. The other one I'm gonna put out there is anybody heard about the Tasmanian tiger? They say that there's a population of Tasmanian tigers that are, I think it's in Australia, that are breeding, that the biologists, zoologists, they don't want to tell anybody about it because Americans would try to figure out how to go down there and shoot it and eat it and put it in a smoothie or some stupid dumb thing. But they're hiding their breeding populations of them. And that's interesting. So it makes me wonder, well, how did they come back? Why did they come back? Were they ever extinct to begin with? Is it a time travel thing and something keeps repopulating them? I'm curious about that. This to me, this is important. That's more important than the news than anything else. Is something driving our civilization? Like, is there something that intends for us to stay here? Because every generation thinks it's always going to end. We always think it's the end, but something always helps us. And that's why I think it might be a simulator. People manifesting stuff, right? If the placebo effect is real, tell me that pterodactyls can't be real. Tell me. It's a joke, but there's science behind it. Mind controls matter. Thought controls manifestation. And yeah, you could have a kid who was born and one day was like, I wish that was a pterodactyl. And he just got his brain thing set up the right way with the right connections and whatever. And all of a sudden that bird becomes a pterodactyl. Anything's possible. When your government lies to you, anything and everything is possible. Because they lied to you for a reason. And that reason we don't know. And I won't convince you I know. I had to get on. Listen, this is Gerard. Y'all have a great day. Love y'all to death. I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. All day today. Slavery Thursday. I'm out. See y'all later. Bye.